My daughter came in to tell me I'm muted. Oh, that's it. First Caesar's screwing up. Now I'm screwing up. So sorry about that, everybody. So again, I just wanted to first give a shout out to the newest subscribers, Adam Harris, one of my guests from last week, Bill Byers. Hey, Bill, go blue, by the way. And all the anonymous ones that I got several over the last 24 hours. I can't see your names, though, because of your privacy settings. So that's it, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So what do we got here? Let me jump in to see hello to you guys. Brian, as always, thank you very much. Thank you for being here and saying hello to everybody. Wes, thank you, sir. I appreciate you tuning in for the second time. Southern Comic Geeks, what's up? And what do we got there? The Rickster. Good to see you as always, Rickster. Good evening to you, Jason. And I know it pains you, but thank you. Let me just show you the uniform of the champions. There we go. That's what a champion looks like. All right. Hopefully this camera will. There we go. CJ Design, what is up, CJ? Hart, what is up? Hart, good to see you too. My lovely wife Vivian, as always, thank you. Mr. Easy Go Lucky, what's up, sir? Good to see you as always. Likewise, Marcus, I don't know what this means exactly, but good to see you as always. And greetings to you, Mr. Las Vegas. And Kavi, what's up? Good to see you, sir. And yeah, thank you. I hope they don't creep up too much, and it should be okay. West is saying freezing. Is it freezing in Texas? Really? Wow, man. Okay. Yeah, I know that's been happening quite a bit over the last few years. Some crazy freezing Texas weather. Yeah, it's bizarre. But climate change, believe it or not. And who else we got here? Who else? More comments telling me that I was going mute. Of course, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's Wes's way of telling me I was muted. I appreciate that. And who else? All these tons of comments come in. Hey, Stevie B, what is up, sir? Good to see you. Tariq, good to see you. Southern California, my friend, good to see you. There's a guy who cannot be freezing right now. I know that. My lovely daughter Arwen, hello. Get to bed. It's time for school tomorrow. Get to bed soon, please. Oh, so you were the latest one. Okay, I appreciate that, Wes. Thank you, man. Thank you. And I hope you enjoy some of the content if you tune in, especially tonight. And of course, Maki Poo Poo, good to see you, sir. John Brown, what is up? Good evening to you. David Matheny, hello from sunny San Diego. Good to see you, sir. And yeah, I once bought a pair of khakis. I bought a pair, and not because of Harbaugh. He wears them better. I bought him once, took him home, put them on, at home, realized how ugly they looked. I was like, okay, threw them out, and that was it. Should have returned them, I guess, but Eric Laredo, good to see you, sir. And Adam Harris has tuned in. Hopefully you were there when I shouted you out earlier as one of my new subscribers, Adam. Thank you, sir. And yo, what's up, Mikey D? Good to see you, sir. Good to see you as always. Yeah, so just wanted to say to those of you in the audience who are from the great state of Ohio, suck it, bitches! Sorry, guys, but after 20 years of getting dominated, it's time the tables were turned. I got to get my comeuppance here, so that's that. And Mike Davis says, how do you like that Superman Secret Lab chair with M50? Yeah, I like it. I've mentioned in the past, it's hard. The foam is hard, but I guess that means the foam will last a few years. It feels like it'll last several years. Every other chair I've ever had, that I paid that I paid, between $180 to $300. The foam has run out, like it has flattened out like paper within 3 months, 4 months tops, kind of thing, So yeah, so far so good. I'm happy. And get over on the high ends. Exactly. Exactly. We gotta get. I gotta get my turn, man. It's been too long, and that's why I had to represent with the jersey today. What else? What else? What else going on? Oh, you know what's funny, because I just want to say real quick. Last year we won. So we won. We won in Ann Arbor, Michigan last year. Okay, we beat Ohio State for the first time in a decade, I think it was, or 8 or 9 years, whatever. You know, and then their quarterback, you know, big time prospect. Oh, he's making all these excuses. You know, the weather's too. Well, he didn't say anything about the weather, but he wilts when the weather gets basically anything under 60 degrees. He's like wilting like a flower because he's from Southern Cali, doesn't like playing in the cold. So I heard some news after last year's debacle, how when we trashed Ohio State. I heard some news that they were apparently planning on turning the Horseshoe into a domed stadium. They just released some pictures of this. Check this out. It looks actually really cool. These are the plans for the new retractable roof. It looks like you could flush 105,000 turds all at once. Oh man, that's rough, man. That's rough. But no, it looks good. Looks good. I hope it happens. Let's see what they come up with. But yeah, Mr. Red Jack, just having some fun, and especially since this isn't even really a sports channel. I would love to have done this on a sports channel. You know, there's only comic guys here, with a few of whom watch who watch football. So yeah, look, he takes it in the spirit of what it's intended to be. Like I said, you know, I've taken the beatings for 20 years and bowed down to our masters, and now we are the masters. All right. There you go. Exactly. A little bit of potty humor. Exactly. And thank you so much, Nick. I appreciate it. Let's get the 7 more likes to match up. Exactly. Let's get a few likes in there, guys. Here we go. If you're enjoying the show, even though it's of course just started, please consider giving a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And for those of you, I might as well do it really quick. Go to youtube.com/theexp this Friday and every Friday to catch Nick Barucci's show. It's a sales show. Really laid back, though. It's not like there's 20 to 40 pieces. It's a couple of handfuls of pieces, usually in every show. It's a mixture of chatting, laid back, having a good time, and selling some art. Sometimes affordable, super affordable, lower end art, and sometimes higher end art. A good mix, but being in the chat is fun with all the guys. So check that out. Well worth your time. It's an hour long typically. So yeah, and exactly. And CJ will tell you that it is a blast. So there you go. And David Barr, good to see you, sir. Good to see you as always. I appreciate you, man. Okay, so with that being said, let me bring in tonight's guest. So I've known Ceasar, not super close or anything like that, but you know, we've known each other for, I mean, he's been around for a long time. I guess I'll ask him when he gets on, but I'm thinking somewhere around the 20-year mark, somewhere around there. I was, over the years, when I was a full-time dealer anyways, I sold quite a few pieces over the years to Ceasar. So I primarily knew him from there. But, you know, I've also been seeing him in live chats and whatnot. And, hey, look, he's always been a polite, good guy to me. And when I saw him, you know, hanging in my chats, over the last several months, I thought, you know what, there's a guy I'd like to have on the chat someday on one of my shows. Not only because he's a good guy, but I've always liked, he's DC centric, and I've always been more of a Marvel guy myself. But over the years, wanted to focus. I've made the attempt to focus more on getting more into DC, just because, you know, you're kind of tired of the same old thing. And yeah, and the kind of artists and books that he likes at DC, especially, are artists and books that I enjoy too. So I thought, yeah, why not ask him? He said, yeah, and so that's it. So here he is. Let me bring him in, Ceasar Alvarez. What up, sir?
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, West?
Yeah,
Rick, good to meet you finally, or at least you see me. I don't see you yet, but you know, I haven't seen you yet. You can see me.
I wish we could see them all. It's not fair. They get to see us. We don't know what they look like, right?
That's true.
Yeah. But I look at that. Look at Rick. Oh, hey. Let's see.
Rick
So
Wells.
very, very cool.
Oh, let me tell you about Rick.
Yeah, tell us. Oh, you got something to tell us about Rick? Because I asked Rick to come on. He doesn't want to come on. So tell me something about Rick.
So back in the early days,
Yeah.
of
Like,
collecting,
what are we talking about? 90s or like early 2000s?
like probably early 2000s, maybe 90s.
Okay.
You know, it
Okay.
stretches a period of time.
Yeah.
On eBay, I would search eBay for Mike Grell artwork, and there was always one guy who would always beat me out on the Mike Grell artwork. And at the time, you were able to see their eBay ID, right? You can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Those days. Yeah.
But at the time, you could, and it was like Cerebus 2000. That dude was always beating me, just clean me out. Just like I couldn't even come in second.
Cerebus 2000?
Something like that. I don't remember what it was.
Oh,
that was his email.
There was a Cerebus guy.
That was his.
Rick, you can tell us what your eBay handle is.
That was his
I remember
eBay
a Cerebus guy, but I just never knew. I never really seemed to compete with him. But I just remember seeing the name there, quite often.
Right.
We didn't compete for the same stuff though. So interesting that all these years later, decades even, we're finding out. Oh my gosh! So that Cerebus guy,
he was beating me every single time. So they had a couple. Cerebus.
Quadruple zero.
So that's what it was. All right. So I threw 2 in there by mistake.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, man. Oh, that's so cool. And wow. So he used to actually beat you out like a lot back then.
He beat me out. If he wanted it, he beat me out. He would beat me out. The only way I won was if he wasn't interested. You know, that was the only way I won in my auction on eBay.
Okay.
So then years later, after I joined CAF, right? These pieces I lost out would show up on CAF. I'm like, oh my God, I lost that on eBay. Oh my God, I lost that one on eBay. I lost that one on eBay. And I'm like, oh, this guy's probably the guy who, beat me out.
Yeah.
Sure enough, he emails me, asks me a question, and his email address is
Cerebus 000.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, this guy, dude.
That's the guy.
That's how I know Rick.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. But you know what I loved about those days is didn't you find like there was this great spirit of camaraderie, even though you're fighting with these guys on eBay at the time, but like if it got to the point where you're always fighting the same guys, and if you would look at the bidders and you would see like, okay, you plus the top 2 or 3 or 4 bidders are always the same guys. Didn't you feel like it was kind
of I mean, it was fun because you figure out, all right, what's his bidding pattern? What was his limit? Could I beat that limit? Yeah, So it was all fun.
Yeah.
I couldn't beat Rick's limit.
And West is saying, small world here.
And West, I know from way back when I used to collect comic books at my local comic book store. West was, I guess, part of the group that went to the comic book store.
Yeah.
Oh, and we spent, cool. Used to go to those early San Diego Comic Cons.
Oh, okay.
He was always,
Okay. And CJ says, you can still find out somewhat by the feedback. Yeah, okay. By the
yeah, but it's a lot more work.
It's a lot more work. Exactly. Yeah. It's not it's not like it used to be where it was just right in front of your face and you just knew it and that was it. And then you emailed everybody, Right. So yeah, but that's a perfect segue actually to ask something I would have asked you anyways. So first of all, when I'm assuming that in terms of comic books, you've been in comics kind of like since childhood.
Yeah, probably it's 12 years, so maybe 12.
Yeah, that's like
me. maybe 10.
Okay. Do you mind telling us how old you are?
I am 49.
49. Okay. So early-ish. So maybe 82, 83 around there.
83, yeah. And it was only G.I. Joe. I was a big G.I. Joe fan.
Oh.
Loved the cartoon, loved the toys.
Okay.
And obviously, the cartoon used to advertise the comic book, so I had to buy the comic book.
Okay. Okay. So before the G.I. Joe cartoon, was that was what got you into the store to get the comics?
Yes, that was what got me into the store to get comics.
Wow.
There was nothing before that.
Wow. So G.I. Joe got you in,
G.I.
really,
Joe.
you can say, right? And it wasn't even like, oh, I happened to go into see a spinner rack at the supermarket and I saw G.I. Joe comic. It was the cartoon advertising.
It was the
It was
cartoon
also comic.
advertising. Yeah,
That's so cool, man.
that's what it
Wow.
was.
That's so cool. Because I was like, I don't know, 13 at the time, myself, 12, 13. And I remember thinking, oh, wow, so cool that my God, they're advertising comics on a commercial on TV. Like, never seen that before, you know? And I remember thinking, I wonder if this is gonna bring people into the comic stores or whatever, you know. I wonder if this kind of advertising will work, you know. And then
I brought in one person.
yeah, for sure. And I'm sure you're not the only one, because for probably, I mean, I would say like a couple of years into the series, 2 or 3 years into the series, when it was at its hottest peak, G.I. Joe was outselling X-Men. It was G.I. Joe #1 in sales, X-Men #2 for a little while.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So it clearly it definitely worked, you know. And what do we got here? So, oh, sorry, hit the wrong one. Still a baby. G.I. Joe 21 was, oh, wow.
There you
The
go.
silent issue was your first. There you go. How cool. Then I got that beat. They ran commercial that featured the comics. Yeah, exactly. And you got the toys first. Interesting, Maki Poo Poo. Okay. Toys first. And you and Maki Poo Poo, you were not reading comics yet at the time? Because if you're kind of if not, then that means you're the same situation, same story as Caesar. So that would be pretty cool. Oh, and by the way, just to rewind real quick, guys, Marcus asked earlier. Sorry, Marcus, I wanted to get back to you on this. Who was children's doc? So that was Dr. Ron Zotkovich. I shouldn't say was, I should say is. He's still alive. Yeah, he was a children's doctor, and that's hence the name. And he would buy all those covers, and then he would frame them, and he would literally put them up in his office, in his doctor's office, so that the kids could have some comic books art to look at. Yeah, I don't know if he stopped collecting. Clearly, I haven't heard of him or seen him in years. I did see him on Facebook, so I know he's around. But does he collect? I don't know. I couldn't tell you that, you know. And then Maki Poo Poo confirms that he got the toys as a gift first. Interesting. Okay. And Wes says, I got the toys first too. And found out about the comics cartoon. Wow, man. So, you think about that, Caesar, like if that's right there, that's 3 of you. And that's just in this small little group that we have here tonight, right? Holy crap. I mean, that's a small sample size. So if you can imagine the amount of people that it might have been reaching on, you know, Saturday mornings or whenever they were airing, that they had to have been reaching at least into the hundreds of thousands, if it wasn't millions. I mean, I don't know what the viewership was, right? But so that absolutely must have been a great catalyst for bringing in readers, you know? So yeah, Maki Poo back in 82. Yeah, very cool. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Easy Go Lucky. Appreciate it as always, sir. And it very much was a lot of synergy there. Yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't work today because, of course, if the kids would run out to the comic shop today, as soon as they get there and they see $5, oh, hell no. You know, it's like, it's not the same thing, right? It's like, yeah. And what do you collect, Maki Poo Poo? I collect creative vintage toys. Oh, vintage toys too, at least until I ran out of space. I see. I got you. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, the ads definitely, we're learning now. They definitely paid off.
Definitely paid off.
I always wondered, you know, and FCC put a stop to what? The advertising?
Advertising directly to kids, you know.
Yeah, but normally they will stop advertising that, you know, like sugary cereals or you know, things that are meant to be bad for the kids. I don't know that that the comics would count. G.I. Joe brought us in. Transformers kept us in, at least for a few more years. That is true. I would agree with that because I was kind of part of that. I wasn't hardcore into the G.I. Joe and Transformer stuff but I did watch the cartoons. I enjoyed it, and then I got the comics too. Again, not hardcore. I was still just superheroes were kind of it for me. But even me as a kind of fair weather type fan, even I still tuned in, right? So I guess that explains why the sales on the comics ultimately ended up being so good, you know. So okay, so cool. So now, so you're into comics early. At what point did you first even take note of the existence of how comic art is produced, how comic books are produced?
I'm not really sure. I don't remember the date.
Oh no, not in terms of date.
I mean,
but
not like I don't even know what age I really started
hey, Derek.
noticing comic art. It was just I was a big Mike Grell fan. I became a big Mike Grell fan.
Okay.
Every year I would go to San Diego, and Jim Warden and Philip Anderson would have just Mike Grell covers galore, and I was like, oh man.
And you're forgetting about Tom. Was Tom Fleming not with Philip at that time?
Tom Fleming. I never met Tom Fleming at San Diego. He might have been. I just don't remember.
Oh, it's true.
I know.
Now that I think about it,
Philip Anderson were at San Diego.
Okay. Yeah.
They were the two dealers that had Mike Grell art. Yeah.
That's right. Right. I think Tom didn't want to go that far, but Tom and Philip ultimately, I would see them all the time at Novi, Michigan, in what do they call Motor City Con,
right?
Because I know Tom was from that area, anyways. So I would see them there. I saw them in a couple of places every year. I don't remember where the other place was, but yeah, I think you're right. I think Tom just didn't want to go as far as San Diego. He might have been there at one point and maybe said, "This is too much or too far for me" or whatever, and ultimately ended up not going. But yeah, I remember those were good times. I used to love seeing Tom and Philip next door to booths together, and then having all that Mike Grell art all the time. Right, it was and sometimes Mike Grell would be with them. So yeah, it was those were good times. I remember for me that was like late 90s, early 2000s. That's how I remember it.
Right. No, that's what I remember too.
Yeah. Speaking of, what are you saying? Fleming was a buyer of Grell, not seller back then. No, Rick, because so when I first met Tom, like in at Motor City, he was there with Grell, and this had to have been like 2000 or 2001, and he was there with Grell, and he was his officially or unofficially, I don't know if it was unofficial but he was his rep. So he absolutely was selling Grell art, but selling it on behalf of him. So I don't know, maybe we're talking about slightly different time or yeah. So, but I remember he was repping him and selling art on behalf of him. I do remember that for sure. AME Comics, good to see you, sir. And he was cherry picking the good stuff. It's very possible. You would think he would do that for sure. Because he had some good stuff. He had really nice Grell stuff. So I would say so. So Caesar, and I gotta know this because you're in Southern Cali. Can I ask where?
I am in Alhambra, right outside of LA.
Right outside of LA. Okay, cool. And you've born and raised there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And so when did you first go as like San Diego, so how far is San Diego to you?
3 hour drive maybe.
Oh, I see. Okay. So when would have been
I first went to San Diego probably in 86.
Oh, wow.
Because I wasn't able to drive yet.
Yeah.
So my dad took me to San Diego.
Oh, you had one of those. You had one of those.
To San Diego. So
wow,
I was invited by my comic shop to go down to San Diego. They would get me in free, and I would go. Oh, they offered to let me in. So, and that has been the case since 1986, actually.
Oh, your comics shop guy has been taking you or giving you a pass for San Diego since 86?
It's 86. And they don't have a comic shop no more. They haven't had one for
What?
years.
Whoa.
But they still deal in comics, and I'm a guest always.
Wow. And they're still able to help you with a badge.
Yeah.
Wow. Fantastic, man. Oh, wow. Wow. You
My comic shop is good people. They are very good people.
Oh, I get
they are almost like family.
Wow. I would, man, I would say that's got to be like family. I mean, that's mind blowing to tell you the truth. I mean, it's mind blowing. Even if you had told me, oh yeah, they're still in business. They still have a shop. But the fact that they haven't had a shop, how long have they been out of business?
They still deal in comics. They just deal at shows. But their physical storefront, that's been at least, 15, 20 years maybe?
Oh, wow. That long. Okay. Holy crap. Wow, man. Oh, that's fantastic. I mean, wow. All I can say is, wow, I'm blown away by that. That's amazing. Yeah, I'm kind of speechless. It's like, wow, like for them to be, wow, since 86 too, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So 86, what? So you were 13? Well, that would have been,
probably, 13.
Holy crap.
That was
and
a couple years away from driving. So my dad took me for probably the first 3 years.
Oh, wow, he took you. Not only did he take you, but he took you for like 3 years. And even West is like, oh, he went in 89 for the first time, also with his dad.
Yeah.
There's a few guys in the hobby whose dads were that cool that they would not only take you to a con, but it's even more mind-blowing to me that your dad is, oh yeah, son, you want to go to a comic show? Oh yeah, where is it? It's only 3 hours away. It
was only for the day too. It wasn't like we went for multiple days. It was one day. He would drive down one day and we would drive back.
Wow.
So that was I mean, he supported, I don't know if he supported it, but he was okay with me reading and buying comic books.
Well, I imagine. Jeez,
so because there was a local show in LA. It was the LA Science Fiction and Comic Book Show. And it was at the Ambassador Hotel. No, not the Ambassador Hotel. It was at the, oh man, I don't remember.
That sounds familiar though. The Ambassador Hotel?
It was at the Ambassador for a while. The Ambassador Hotel in downtown LA.
Yeah, okay.
And it wouldn't even be like I'd ask to go. He'd go, is the show this weekend? Let's go.
Oh,
so
really?
He would offer to take me to the show.
He took the initiative, your dad.
He took the initiative.
Shout out to your dad, man. Holy shit. Wow. That's awesome, man. That's a dad right there. Wow. That's amazing. Good for you, man. Man. And on top of the fact that, you're a Southern LA kid, you're born and raised and going to the sort of biggest and best con of all, in North America, at least,
right.
Man, that's you lived a bit of a, if I can say, privileged or charmed comic books type childhood, man. Like, that's
lucky. I was lucky. That's all.
Yeah.
It was just
because I'm telling you, for me, that's like the not only the opposite of my story, but that's like way far off the opposite end. It's like, what? Yeah. So that's like, to me, that's the kind of stuff I could only have dreamed about. Like, and I don't even exaggerate. Like, to me, that was like, you go to bed at night, read some comics, and then close the comic book after I finish reading it, and then fantasize of what it would be like to be somebody who lives in far off California, who gets to go to San Diego because they live in the fairly, general vicinity of the convention. It's like, yeah, man, that's exactly, David. Right on, Dad, for sure. And Rickster, charmed life for sure. Yeah, for sure. Oh, look, Jason's gonna reveal something. My dad thought I was wasting money. Hello, and was annoyed to have to drive me to the city to go to the Motor City Con when I was in high school. Yeah. Okay, but you're saying he was annoyed, Jason. But it sounds like you're trying to intimate that he still took you. So let us know, because if he still took you, hey man, that's still pretty cool, Dad. Even though he's annoyed by it, like, he still did it. So that's, come on, man. That's wild. Wow. Amazing. So, Ceasar, are you saying then you have never missed a show since '86?
I've at least gone one day since '86. Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Wow, man. Wow.
So it's just recently that I've gone for, all 4 days.
Oh,
But it used
really?
to be, yeah. I mean, like
Oh.
when I say recently, I mean like the last 10 years.
Oh, really? Okay.
Before that, it was either the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, just one day or so.
Okay. Wow. And when you used to go for all those first 25 years, I can't even believe I'm saying that. Like in those days, you would go what, typically for just one or sometimes one and two?
Just one. Usually it was one. Sometimes, well, as I got older and I was in my teens, and I could drive by myself, I would stay two. But I would, I would rough it. I would rough it. I wasn't a hotel guy. I would rough it.
Oh, yeah? Oh, but not in your car. Don't tell me you were sleeping.
I'd either share a room with somebody.
Okay.
Or I would sleep in the car, yes.
You would sleep in the car? Wow, that's crazy, dude. Oh, my God. Could you find I guess you could. I guess, yeah, San Diego is nice. I guess you could find places you felt it was safe enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what you usually do is, what I did was you go to grocery store parking lots because they're open 24 hours.
Oh,
so you park a little bit far back because that's where employees park. You don't park in front.
Right.
And you just sleep as many hours as you can.
Wait a second. You're saying you would park where the employees park?
Well, yeah, because employees are not allowed to park like at the front of the building. They park a little back.
Right, so but weren't you scared that but some employee is gonna come out after their shift and they're gonna notice that this is not an employee's car, no?
Those are the chances you took. Those are the chances you took.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, that's wow. You did look like you said you roughed it. You did what you had to do to save money, right?
Right.
Because it was and was that basically the reason? I imagine it was the reason is because of how it's always been considered an expensive con.
It's always been expensive, yeah.
Right. So you just roughed it, and that way you figured, okay, I saved the money from that hotel. My money is the gas to get there, the food, right, and then everything else can go to art or whatever it is that
or books or whatever,
books or whatever, right? Wow, man, that's an awesome story. I knew I had to get you on for a reason, baby. Yeah, man, that's awesome. No, I've always wanted to have somebody on, anyways, who, I was hoping that at some point I could get a guest who is from the Southern California area, because I wanted to talk about the whole, I've always wanted to talk to somebody who's been kind of like a lifelong San Diego con goer, somebody for whom it's like a local thing, or at least somewhat close enough kind of thing, I mean, as long as you can take yourself, I still consider it local, within a reasonable amount of driving time, obviously, but that's, oh man, that is, wow. It's again, mind-blowing stuff, man. This is just, again, because it's so different for me coming from up north where I am. It's just, I'm not even kidding when I say to me, it was like a dream. It was like, well, I guess I'll never be there. It was just set from childhood. Well, I guess I'll never get to attend San Diego Comic-Con because, that's for people who kind of live there. It's so far away. Not only is it I got to travel
another country.
Yeah, it's another country for me, whatever, and it's like multiple planes to get there, whatever. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, obviously I went, but when I was well into adulthood, but I always thought, having read about the history of comics and, I like to read about the history of the conventions and all these other things, right? And I used to read about San Diego, and man, I just reading about it, it was so exciting. And I would, just for me to think about all the things that went on. I mean, I would think like, oh gosh, when I was hardcore into I got into Swamp Thing in 1984, Alan Moore was getting this attention. Attention was building for Swamp Thing, and I latched onto it about a year in or something, and I remember thinking, ooh, how sophisticated I am as a 14-year-old, because it says sophisticated suspense on the comic, and I would read like, oh, you know, Alan Moore, and Bissett, and Tottleben, and Rick Veitch, and Alfredo Alcala. All these guys are at the sure, they were all at San Diego, down the road from Frank Miller and just Byrne and whoever, like all these names, right? Like, you've got to understand the reason it's so hard to sort of wrap my brain around what it must be like to live in an area where you can do that on a yearly basis is because I come from a place where back in those days, the conventions were, and a lot of people I know in the audience can relate to this. The conventions for me, at least I had conventions, so I was happy. But conventions were basically all about comics, definitely no art. But it was a hotel ballroom, you know, and it's maybe 50 dealer tables, you know, 50. This when it got bigger, maybe 75 dealer tables. Not 75 dealers, just all the tables, you know, put together, you know. And in terms of artists, we typically had two artists, one of whom was always a local guy. So it was either like Jeff Isherwood, because he used to live in Montreal back then. For a while, it was Denis Rodier, who you know as the inker for Tom Grummett for a few years. Yannick Paquette later on in the you know, second back half of the 90s into the 2000s, you know. But we always had a local guy, and then they would bring in one other guy. But typically, again, because of cost, expense, and all that, it would be maybe a guy from the Northeast. They wouldn't bring guys who lived in California, or, you know, it'd be like, you got to be from the East, so the plane ticket's not too expensive, you know. And that was it. And so you had to be kind of satisfied with, oh, who's the artist that I'm going to see at this con, you know? So that's why for me, you can imagine when you live in that kind of a sort of situation, how mind-boggling it seems to be thinking about, oh, Southern California, yeah, there's this convention. Like, not only is it more than just two artists, but it's like dozens, and it's like everybody, everybody, right? All the writers, yeah, everybody. Like, it's like, what? Yeah, so it's really, I guess it's probably something that people who are local could easily take for granted, because when that's all you've ever known, you don't think really nothing of it. Like, that's just what you've always known. This is my con. Yeah, I like it. You may think, oh, I love it. Yeah, I love my con. I go to the con every year. Yeah, whatever, you know. But it's what you've known, you know.
So it's still special to me. It's still special.
Yeah,
yeah.
You still feel that way?
Maybe not the last couple of years.
Really? And why is that? Why in particular is that?
It's long. It's long now.
Long in terms of what?
Like, it's 4 days. It's long.
oh, I see. Okay. Because you've started to stay for 4 days.
I started to stay for the 4 days. Yeah.
Oh, hopefully not in your car.
No. I moved up.
Okay.
I get a room now. No, those days of sleeping in the car over.
That's funny, man. Wes says, wow, you've only missed 3 of them since '89. Wow. But West, are you still in California? I didn't.
No, West is in Texas now.
Oh yeah, right. Texas. Okay, West, but you still fly there. I guess you're not, when you're in Texas, I guess you're not super far as some people, but still, that's amazing too. Only 3 since '89. That's wild. Mr. Easy Go Lucky, what you saying? So you used to be able to park in the convention center underground parking lot. Oh, really? Like, not for free though. You got to pay, I assume.
Hell, I used to park behind the convention center when it was available. Now they don't. You can't even go back there anymore.
Oh, you mean they don't because it just doesn't exist? They don't have that?
No, they rope it off, and you just not. It's usually something else. You can't park there anymore.
Okay, and yeah,
there's a little park behind the convention center.
Okay,
and it would be open to the public on Sundays. It was free parking, so that's what I would go. I would go Sunday morning, park there, no parking fee, no nothing, and you would go to the show. You can't do that no more. Everything's closed off.
Okay. Yeah, things have changed a lot over the years, right? Like, for sure. Mr. Easy Go Lucky says that he's always gone as a pro to SDCC, so never had to pay for any badges. Well, that's nice. That's nice. I mean, I will say I was fortunate that in the years that I went primarily in the first half of the 2000s, so I had friends locally here in Montreal who would go down there to deal comic books, and they were one of my friends he had a really big setup, and so he got enough badges that he had way too many extras. And so he would always make sure he had my name down for one or whatever. So at least not only did I not have to wait, but in those days, it wasn't it was crazy, but it wasn't as crazy as it has now become since then in the last 15 or 17 years, where now people are willing to I know people that will get badges from dealers and pay for them. I'll pay you 400 or whatever, like 400, or it's going to be $500. Okay, no problem. Just to get a dealer badge, Yeah, just so they don't have to do the whole waiting thing or whatever.
Right.
And but yeah,
those dealer badges are nice. You get in early.
yeah, for sure. You come and go as you please, and
exactly.
That's it. Okay, cool. So, tell me then, from there, so you're into comics. First of all, this is a good question. Do you still buy back issue comics?
No, I do not.
Okay, so that's those days are gone. Has that been a long time?
That's been a long time, yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you buy new comics?
I do not read comics at all anymore.
Wow. Okay. So not even guys.
I have a couple of graphic novels. I mean, a couple of trade paperbacks.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Maybe one or two in the last couple of years, but that's about it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say. I was gonna ask you if you were even at least like me, where you're still kind of looking for things to read, and you'll buy the trade paperback. But even that, not often.
Not often. No.
Wow. Okay.
No, okay. I don't want to get hooked again. That's the problem.
Oh, is that what is that really the reason?
Yeah, I don't want to get into it again. I quit cold turkey.
Yeah. No, me too.
I just said one day, that's it, and I never went back.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I did so too, but I stayed away for like 8 years from I think 93 or 4 to 2001, something like that. I mean, I'd go occasionally into the store because I had a friend who worked at a store,
Right.
So I still kind of saw some stuff or whatever, but I didn't read for like 7 or 8 years. But I will say ever since I did come back in the early 2000s, I missed it, but I didn't miss the collecting of comics. Okay. So that part of it was gone. I had already by then sold off my collection. I got rid of it. The idea of collecting comics no longer appealed to me, but I missed occasionally reading stuff. So that's why I did become, one of these occasional trade paperback type guys, what's been happening in the last few years, oh, this has been popular. I remember this, people talking about this. Okay, let me try it now. Now that the hype is down, right? Now let me try it, because I'm still it appeals to me. So that's about it though, but I still occasionally I still semi-regularly get trade paperbacks,
Right.
But I can say though, I don't feel any like fear that, oh my gosh, if I buy another trade paperback and I read it and I enjoy it, I'm going to start buying floppies every week or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'd have that'll never happen again.
Right.
Ever. I know that, but is that the fear that you think if you
it's not really a fear. I'm not interested in reading. I mean, I'll browse a book once in a while, but it's like, oh, that's nice. But
okay. So even the reading of it, you just it sort of ran its course in a sense.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting, because you're still constantly immersed with these characters through the artwork.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I do find it interesting that it's an interesting take that you're constantly a regular art collector. So you see the characters on a regular basis. I find it interesting and kind of surprising, I would say, that just that alone doesn't get you to, let me see what trade paperback I can pick up now, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised
No, I
you're
I
just
have
it
no
doesn't
desire anymore.
right. The desire is just gone or
It's
whatever.
gone. I'll
That's
stick to the artwork.
interesting. That's interesting. Wes says he quit New Comics cold turkey in '93. I think that was the same year for me. And then I later when I came back eight years later, I then started there. Let me see what I missed, and that's how I got back into things like Superboy, Grummet Superboy, and things like that. So that's it. Interesting. Okay. And thank you. Yes, again, thank you, Mr. Easy Go Lucky. I appreciate it as always. If you guys, as you can see in the scrolling down here, where is it? There.
Enjoy the show. Click the like.
click the thumbs up. It would be appreciated if you don't mind. I'd appreciate that. Thank you so much. And David says comics have become so expensive here. Oh, and yeah, we talked about that a few shows back. David's in Australia. And so they're ridiculous. I mean, we think here in North America they're expensive, ridiculously expensive over there. It's at that point though. Does it even matter at a certain cutoff point? It's like it's just ridiculous, anyways, right? It's whatever. Like what 22 pages of story for like multiple dollars or whatever. It's like nah, man. Like it's I mean, some guys here still collect floppies. Some guys still they love it. I don't know. So hey, Mikhail, no deals on new artwork anymore either. Was there ever any deals? But a lot of exciting work being done in comics today too. That's very true. That is very true. And then there's an extremely wide variety, not only of comics out there today, but art styles. So that's that. But again, you can't force yourself to sort of fall back in love with something. Right. It just doesn't pull at your heartstrings anymore, So and yeah, heart. But that's the thing. So buy trades much more for your cash. It's not altogether true though, because every time I get a trade, I end up like I always break it down, and I'm like, oh, how much is this one if I get this trade? And I look at it, and I'm like, oh, it's like I'll look on Amazon, and it'll be like, oh, $18, and I'll be like, well, okay, let me check what issue, how many issues are in this thing, and it'll be like 6. I'll be like, well, that's still $3 a piece. That's still too expensive, given that it's a reprint, right? They're not paying the creators all over again to put that trade out. And so to me, I'm at the point where I just feel like $250 per issue is kind of like my thing. I do still buy if I really want to read something. I still will pay it if it's around $3 an issue. That's kind of my cutoff. If a trade costs more than the average of $3 per issue, even I'll be like, forget it. Maybe I can get it, borrow it from my library or something. Because I tend to try to do that a lot as much as I can too. And Maki Poo says he buys digital these days. And I think I don't know much about the digital thing. I think you could get deals, right? Where you pay a certain amount, you can pay a certain amount. And then if you read digitally, it gives you access to like tons of stuff for a certain amount of time. I don't know if it's for life or for a year or whatever, but yeah, the problem is that guys like me, and I'm speaking for Caesar here, but he obviously will give us his response. But I'll assume that Caesar's like me and say that even if he was in the mood, I don't think he'd want to read digitally. What do you say?
You know what? I have read some digitally because it makes it easier. I could just go through it real fast, and I don't have a physical object, and I could just be done with it, and that's it.
Okay,
it's all right. I mean, I wouldn't sit there and read a whole series or anything, but an issue or two, yeah, it's okay. Don't mind.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. And West, I get it, but the thing is, I don't like to read and throw out. And with comics, I don't want long boxes anymore. And I need to be able to take it and read it and then put it on my shelf. Have it stand by itself. And comics won't do that, man. I can't do it. But I get you. If you just want a cheap read, I certainly recommend, if you like reading regular floppies, dollar bins are definitely good. Mikhail says, excuse me, the Marvel and DC app can provide you with reading material for the rest of your rest of your life. Okay. There you go. And Jason, does Caesar buy art from new books even if he hasn't read them, or does he stick to artwork from his collecting period, or none of the above? Excellent. I want some questions for Caesar specifically about art.
So I don't buy art from new books. I don't necessarily have to have read the book to buy the art. I will buy art from books I have not read, but it's not newer art at all. So it's all between my collecting period. I try to stick. Sometimes it goes a little more backwards. Sometimes it goes a little more forward. But as new comic books, no new comic book art.
What are you talking about? I'm on my own. I don't know what you're referring to there, Aranga. But hold on a second. What do we say? Okay. Let me quickly just ask you though. What? Because somebody did ask, and it's already gone up the way here. What was, or do you remember when you first laid down the cash for a piece of art? And was it in person or online?
I know exactly my first piece of art.
Okay.
It was, I bought it from Jim Warden. It was a Mike Grell Green Arrow cover.
A Mike Grell Green Lantern?
It was the one that says Expatriate. I think it's 47. It might be 47. Memory serves me right. It's Green Arrow with the flag.
Oh, Green Arrow. You mean the 1988 series?
1988 series. I was a big fan of that. I bought it in San Diego from Jim Warden.
Oh.
Like $230 maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, back in those days, that was
back in those days. So him and Philip Anderson would bring like, that was around the same time Mike started doing just, pinups of characters, and they were cheap. And I was like, I wanted that, but I held out for a cover, and so my first cover was a Green Arrow cover.
Wow! So your first piece was okay, and you still have that one. Okay. Okay. Cool. That will segue into, okay, do you remember what your second piece would have been?
No, that I can't tell you.
Interesting.
I know the first piece.
Okay. And how, sorry, and so sorry, let me backtrack. That Green Arrow cover would have been when now?
Probably, let me see, 96 probably.
Okay. And when if you remember, when would you have bought your first piece of art online?
So that would be 90. I would say 99 online, which means to me eBay. At the time was eBay.
Okay.
So I bought the cover. I bought the Green Arrow cover from Jim Warden in 96, right? That was my first cover, and I wanted more. So the following year at San Diego,
you froze up a bit. Hold on.
Oh, sorry. The following year in San Diego,
okay,
it was somebody had Longbow Hunters number
2. I remember that.
Number 2.
That. Yeah. Okay.
2.
I was there. So, I remember.
Okay. So he wanted 800 for it. So at the time, I was not making much money.
Right.
And I couldn't get him down to, I think it was 5. I had 5, and I didn't even have 5. Right. I borrowed it from the comic shop. They were going to let me borrow $500.
Wow.
Right.
And they really are good people.
And she actually offered me to go higher if I wanted to, but I didn't feel comfortable doing that. So I stuck at 5, passed on it. The following year, 98, I went back because I had the money now, and he had sold it.
He had sold it, right.
And he had sold it, he said, on eBay. And I was like, eBay? Oh, man. So that year, I jumped on eBay because I didn't want to miss out on any more art.
Yeah. That's when you joined eBay.
That's when I joined eBay.
Oh, okay. Right. That's wild, man. Wild. Okay.
And I've never seen the Longbow Hunters 2 again. That was the only time I've seen it.
Yeah. So remind me, because of course I'm just going by memory here. Was number 2 the one that was all mostly red?
I think that was number 3.
Oh, that's 3.
Which is number 2 was the forest scene. They were in snow.
Oh, yeah.
Kato was in the back, on the back half of the cover, and Green Arrow was in the front.
And now that you mention that, I also don't know that I've seen that in 30 years or 20 whatever years. Yeah.
I've never seen that again.
That one got sucked up and into a black hole, I guess,
Sure did.
And Aranga, I appreciate it. Thank you for lumping Poor Caesar into my no digital comics life. It was just an assumption. A mistaken one, apparently. But and I prefaced it by saying I may be wrong, and he would tell us, man. Okay, so West asks a question, which of course I was going to get to anyways, and and it leads me to, and let me just pop it on screen as well. It's a really quick question. So why Jonah Hex? And I just want to say, because of course, everybody who's been around, 20 years or ish around that amount of time in this hobby, if they know you, they kind of know you. Oh, if they don't know you personally, they'll still be like, oh, Ceasar, that's that guy, that's the Jonah Hex guy, right? Because you were.
I don't think anybody knows that about me, but you.
No, come on, bro. No. Listen, over the years, even I can tell you that your name has come up in conversations here and there, right? And it's fixed to, oh, the Jonah Hex guy.
I've never heard that before.
What? Come on,
maybe
man.
2, maybe 4 people know that. That's about it.
What?
Yes.
But how could you think that would be the case? That would be a surprise, given that for a while there, back in the, let's say, the first half of the 2000s. I mean, when you started loading up your calf gallery, I mean, a lot of your stuff was Jonah Hex.
I have never put my Jonah Hex stuff online.
You did?
No.
But you have some there now.
I have. Well, I have maybe 4 covers on there. That's about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so
not
maybe,
too many.
So you've never had them, or you didn't put them up and take them down?
I've never put them up and take them down. I've put up weird Western tail covers and taken them down that don't have Jonah Hex. They have Scalp Hunter.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we talked.
I put those up and taken them down, but Jonah Hex, no.
Oh, okay. So interesting. That brings up other questions. But
let me answer Wes's question.
Yeah, let's take
Jonah Hex.
Exactly. Take Wes' question. Why?
I was a big fan of Westerns, not just Jonah Hex, but
the genre.
So movies, novels. I used to read Louis L'Amour books like they were candy. I would just gobble them up. So I love those books. I love the movies, and Jonah Hex was just a natural extension of what I liked.
Makes sense. So you were even reading the some of the novels, the Louis L'Amour novels.
I read a lot of those novels.
Wow, that's cool. Wow, and I always wondered. I always thought wow, because I like to watch Western movies. I like the genre in that sense. But I always thought I don't know, paperbacks, novels. I'm I don't know, just reading about it. For me, it's such a what I love about the Western genre. It's the visuals, right? I just love the dusty, saloons and all that. Just it's all the visuals of the Old West, and therefore, I don't know. I always feel like it's got to be shown to me, as opposed to if I'm reading a novel, I've got to do all the work of imagining the scene or whatever. I don't know. And I always just felt to me, it always felt like it just never appealed to me as something that I would want to try to read. But I knew that for many years, there was a time where they were super, super, 2 decades, I would say, even 3 decades, where paperback novels of the Western genre were super, super popular.
Yeah,
so,
I used to go to the local bookstore, and they would just have a wall of Western books, and I would just pick one and read it and buy it and read it.
Okay.
So that's why Jonah Hex. It was an extension of what I like.
Okay.
And that includes Batlash and Scalp Hunter in those.
Right.
In that.
Right. And I read the original Batlash series. I thought it was kind of not that there's that many issues. How many issues? 6 issues?
7, I think.
7. Yeah. They're kind of fun and whatever, but
they were cool.
It's all right, right? I mentioned in a previous show that I did, I guess the topic of Westerns came up, and I mentioned in the past, I'll mention it again in case anybody out there who likes Westerns and hasn't tried it, you're looking for something. I really dug, and I think I said this on a show that you might have been in the audience, and I think you agreed with me. I really dug I like the 70s Jonah Hex stuff, but the one that Palmiotti did in the 2000s, that series, where a series of just sort of one and done stories,
one or 2 issues,
yeah.
Oh, those were awesome.
Those were awesome, right?
Those were awesome, yeah.
Oh my God,
they were great.
What a fantastic series! One of my favorite series of all time, and that's saying a lot, given that I'm, again, like most people, a superhero guy more than anything, you know? Yeah, just one of my favorite series, regardless of genre, like that favorite comics of all time. Yeah, fantastic. Love that stuff. I'm curious, when you were reading that, and given that you enjoyed it, it didn't ever pull at you to say, maybe I should get some art from this series or this story because it's so great, and you never felt the
No, not really. I mean, no, I was really focused when I first started collecting art. It was Mike Grell.
okay,
That's what I wanted.
right,
And that's what I was buying.
okay,
It eventually spread out to a whole bunch of stuff, but
okay,
yeah, it was all Mike Grell.
okay, wow. Rick is saying that Green Arrow is your favorite character.
Green Arrow is my favorite character.
Okay,
Jonah Hex, and then the Question would be the third. Those are the top three.
okay, and Hart says Lobo fan as well.
I enjoyed the series. I did enjoy the series. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was fun.
You enjoyed the series, but you wouldn't say, "Oh, I'm a Lobo fan."
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy everything that's Lobo. I'm not.
Right.
You know, I mean, if it's from that series that I read, I loved it. It was over the top humor. It was funny.
Oh, we got a newbie, Coatran. Hello, sir. Do you know who Coatran is?
I do know. I sent him a link to this interview today.
Oh, awesome. Good to get some new people every now and then. Which artist that you commissioned drew your favorite version of Jonah Hex? Good question.
That's a good question.
It's hard to choose favorite.
That I commissioned. Okay, I'll knock out. I won't count the Bill Sienkiewicz cover because that was a cover. Commission. Wow.
Yeah, it's a good question because now you're the one responsible for going, deciding what artist am I going to go ask to do this? And then of course there's always the risk that even if it's a favorite artist, they may put out something that you're like, ugh, right? So out of the ones that you got back,
I'm going to say, and I was just looking at it recently, the one by Randy DeBurk.
Oh, there's a name you don't hear often.
It was a different Jonah Hex. It was different. He put him on horseback. He had him wrapped in a blanket, and it was snowing. And it wasn't what I expected, obviously. There's you expect a certain thing when you commission Jonah Hex, a Western cowboy with guns. This was completely opposite of that.
By the way, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but while you're talking and giving your reasons, do you know off the top of your head what gallery you might have that in, and then we can pop it up at that
Jonah Hex number 2.
Number 2. Okay, let's check that out.
I think it's Jonah Hex number 2 because it has a background, so I think I put the 2s in backgrounds.
Okay, so did you say who? Randy DeBurk? Oh, okay, yeah. So let me load this. It's loading a bit slowly. Sorry. And
so this goes back to my love of Westerns, movies, and books, paperbacks, because it looks like a scene from a movie.
Right.
I mean,
right. No, it's fantastic. And let me share it so you guys can all see it. And here we go. Let's share this. Ooh, here we go. Check this out. Oh, sorry. Hold on. There you go. Everybody seeing it?
Yeah, I just love the effect he did. It's white out. The horse is awesome, and you can tell it's Jonah Hex. His face is scarred there.
Yeah.
That looks like a scene from a movie,
Yeah. I love the technique he used for this. It's really cool. That's what makes it stand out so much, Yeah. It's not your typical sort of pen and ink type work, especially the horse, obviously,
right?
And and the sorry, what's the proper name for those things? The thing that Jonah wears, he wraps around himself.
Right there,
right
poncho?
here. I'm pointing to it.
His poncho? I don't know.
Is that what it is? Is that a poncho?
It looks like it to me.
Yeah, but whatever it is, that's the line work there. That's it's pretty cool too. Yeah, sorry. So here we go. Let me come back. Okay, cool. So there you go. There's your answer, sir. It is Randy DeBurke. And David says, Caesar, do you collect Mike Grell, John Sable?
Yes, I do. I collect everything, Mike Grell. I am a Green Arrow guy first, then Warlord, then Sable.
Sorry, who's first?
Green Arrow.
Green Arrow?
Mike Grell, Green Arrow, then Mike Grell, Warlord, and then John Sable.
Warlord and then Sable.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So really, it's real quick. I want to stick to this, but let me see. West says, how many pieces of art do you have? Have you sold and traded any?
I have a lot of pieces of art. Too many to count.
You're freezing up. So
I have way too many to count, and I've traded maybe 5 or 6 pieces away.
Okay. What about selling?
I've sold maybe 5 or 6 pieces in my.
You mean like pieces of art in general?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, I have not sold, and most of them were panel pages that I sold.
Yeah. Wow. That's wild, man.
So I wouldn't say I'm a black hole collector because I mean, for the right offers, I'll sell it, but
right.
It pretty much stays with me. Yeah.
Okay. And is this a joke or is this something that I may have missed over the years?
No, Mike Grell G.I. Joe. No. No G.I. Joe covers. No G.I. Joe art at all, actually.
Okay. I guess if you ever want to do another commission, you can commission Mike Grell to do you a G.I. Joe team shot or something. Oh, that's funny. And Nick, hey, Nick, no worries, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate it every time, of course. Thank you, sir. Hart says that you are a Grell black hole collector. Your Grell stuff stays with you.
Yes, my Grell stuff has stayed with me. No, you know what? That's not true. I've traded to Rick Welch.
Have you?
Yes.
Okay.
A Warlord. I got something great in return, but yes, I traded a Warlord cover. My first Warlord cover, the one I bought from you.
Oh.
The one I bought from you is the my Grell trade. I've traded that cover.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. And Rick has it now?
No, he sold it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He sold it.
Yeah, it's been years. It's a long time since I had that cover, so yeah. And Mikhail claims that he had 2 question covers in his CAFCON booth.
I saw 1 question cover in your CAFCON booth.
Okay.
I didn't see the second one.
Okay.
I saw the one with Lady Shiva on it.
Good. No worries, Nick. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. And okay, so I wanted to ask you, Koa is, and by the way, am I saying it right? Is it Koa?
Kwa.
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 Yeah.
Or you pronounce more the H or the K?
It's more of a Q sound. Kwa. It's like.
Okay. Kwa. Kwa. Okay. Kwa. So he says, why do you like the question? And I think people do kind of. Okay, look, I was wrong before, I guess, about the Jonah Hex thing. That was probably because I think the association was that I had dealt quite a few Jonah covers back in the day, and you picked up a few from me.
Right.
That's probably why I guess I associated you as Jonah guy, and I guess I just kind of somehow got to thinking that you did post them.
That's right. Memories aren't perfect,
No, for sure. But yeah, so what is it about the question? I was also curious about that myself because I like the character. And I can tell you, I read the series back in the day, but it's so long ago that I don't remember almost any of the details of anything I read back in the 80s.
Right.
I just tend to remember, did I like it or what I thought about it? That's what I tend to remember. So I don't remember anything about it. I remember liking the question, but I particularly liked the look of him. I just thought it was cool.
Right.
What attracts you to that character?
So the question was a direct result of the crossover with Green Arrow. I think it was issue 17.
Oh.
So there was a crossover where Green Arrow made an appearance, and I was interested in it. I liked the art, Dennis Cowan's art. And so I went back to read pretty much the whole series. And it was just a different comic book. You know, it wasn't, it was a superhero comic book, but at the same time, it wasn't.
Okay.
You know, they discussed philosophy and, you know,
Yeah.
the gray area. It's not black or white. It was like many shades of gray. So, you know, it was different for me, you know.
That's what I was I thought I was just going to say myself, is that I seem to remember, what I remember about it was no details of the stories, but like you said, like philosophical in some ways.
Right.
Right? It made you kind of think.
It made you think
in different ways than your standard superhero comic would have, you know?
Exactly. I mean, everybody likes the Watchmen and the Dark Knight. For me, it was the question. It changed my my perception of superhero comics.
Right. And here's the Vigilante. Here's a Vigilante cover I wanted to show, but I'll get to that later. But I'm trying to find the question cover. Any idea what gallery the question?
Maybe number 3.
Okay, hold on a second. So it covers number 3.
And yeah, it covers number 3. I think it might be in there.
3. Let's see.
There.
Where is it? Did you see it? Nope, not in this one.
Maybe number 2.
Okay.
One of the first couple of galleries, because I posted it early.
Okay. Let's see. This is 2. There's a Green Arrow cover by Grant Meehan. Scalp Hunter.
You could always go to the bottom of the gallery, click Dennis Cowan's, and
true. Let me do that from the home page. Is easier.
Little.
And where's Cowan? Here's Cowan. And one of your earlier ones, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, there's 12. There's the 12. How many question covers do you have, by the way?
1, 2, maybe 4.
Okay. Yeah, I like this. That's really neat.
I have 4 covers, and then I have 2 complete stories.
Oh, and you also got a couple of complete stories as well.
I got 2 complete stories. Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Here's more Green Arrow. I guess we should just quickly show the Green Arrow, because this is a killer piece. I love the artwork here. I love Cowan, so yeah.
Which cover is that?
Art. Green Arrow 42. Oh, sorry. Hold on. So this is the 42. Okay, so here, let me. But I'm not finding the one. You said you had question 17?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was the first question book I read. So.
Okay. That's the first one you read. Right. Yeah. Okay, cool. So let me share the screen here, and I'll show you so everybody can see what thumbnails we'll have here. Chrome, and here we go. Share. All right. So we got this one, Green Arrow 42.
That's a Dennis Cowan cover, yes.
Yeah, love Cowan. So yeah, love that. That's really neat. What else? Oh, a DC Presents, a late DC Presents cover. Oh, that's really cool.
That's Superman and the Mega Men.
It looks almost early Mignola-ish. That's pretty cool. I
guess you can see that. The shadow work.
Yeah, that's though how he did the shadow on Superman in particular, you know. Let's see now. Let's see. Here, there's a Batman. There's another. That's another Green Arrow cover.
That's a great Green Arrow cover. I love that cover.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That arrow coming straight at you.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta love the foreshortening on the arrow. And a little more tilted, and it would have looked like it's coming right at you, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Great background, too. I like that. Yeah, such a shame that so many artists back then were just using any old pen to get the job done, you know?
It doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Hex number 8. Okay.
Question.
So
we got to go to the next page probably, or the first page.
That is the second page.
Oh, that's the first page. Oh,
No,
there's
we're in the first page.
Now on the first page. Go up.
Up.
Right there in the middle.
Hardware.
Down one.
Oh, this one. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Question 12. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that's really neat too. Yeah, what a great team, Cowan and Sienkiewicz.
They're one of the best teams, I thought. Yeah. I mean, the covers on the question were some of my favorites.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think a lot of people. I actually, so my way of getting into question was because of the artwork. I was one of those guys. I was more into it for the art more than the stories, the comics, you know?
Right.
And so I often got hooked on reading a new title because I was sold on the cover. If I liked the art of the cover, I would buy it, you know? Yeah, and that's how I started with Question. Yeah. I was a big Sienkiewicz fan, and I was a big Cowan fan as well, and I thought they made a great team together, you know?
I think they made a great team, yes.
Yeah. And this is the good old days from when Cowan was being put on the Batman titles. That's really cool.
Yeah, I bought that in San Diego.
Two-Face. That's really neat. Oh, and Joker.
And the Joker, yes.
Wow.
And I have the cover to that issue too. So.
That's the one that you have the cover.
Yeah, right there to make it easy. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's really, really neat. This is what we're talking about. What, like 1986 around here? Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And what's this? This is funny. What is this? This is like some kind of a jokey thing you did, or
it's a gift to someone he did. A gift.
Oh, okay. Mad About Patty. Happy birthday! Like a birthday gift thing.
It was just a sketch. I was like, it's Cowan. I'll buy it. You know.
Yeah.
And it is technically the question. So
yeah. Alfred E. Newman as the question, but who's counting? Yeah, that's what makes it cool, though. You know.
Yeah.
You know, as the sole commenter, Jason Caldwell says, "Ha, that's brilliant." Yeah. And it really is, man. Yeah, that's really neat. Okay. So, hold on. Let me come out here. And jump back into the chat because I want to see if there's anybody asking questions. Sorry, Marcus, I'm a little bit late because I've been when I'm sharing the screen, I've got to scroll and stuff. I'm completely in that other. I'm in that other tab, right? So I can't. I'm not in the software tab, so I can't see you guys talking. So not sure which one you're referring to on that one. But I appreciate the comment. Don't ask the question. Every time you think you have the answers, he changes the question. And aloha to you, Carl. Good to see you, sir. Oh, you've traveled from Hawaii to Corvallis, Oregon. Or I say Oregon. I don't know. Is it Oregon or Oregon? I've always said Oregon, and I hear people
say Oregon.
Yeah, okay. I'll stick with Oregon then. It seems weird to say Oregon. Helping a girlfriend move back to Maui in 5 days. Oh, I see. Okay, sorry for missing part of a couple of shows. Don't ever apologize, man. I appreciate whatever you can watch, whatever you can attend. I appreciate it. Thanks, bud. And so Mikhail was asking earlier.
No, my stories are my two issues I do not have the covers to them now.
Okay. That's a shame. But still, it's cool, you know? And like David says here, 4 covers and 2 complete stories, that's a massive accomplishment. It is. You know? And CJ says, amazing collection. And Carl is back to say, I always dug the question. Love those Charlton characters. And of course, again, I'm coming in late back to you guys, so I don't know which cover you're referring to, but we saw quite a few good ones.
Probably the question cover.
Yeah. Oh, the one that had bricks in the background. Yeah, yeah, with the poster in the background. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Exactly that one. And then Gorgeous Line, the single. Okay, that one, sorry, don't know what the reference is to. And okay, so West asks a good question here.
Sure.
Why don't you upload more to CAF? I feel you upload pretty regularly.
There's a lot on CAF.
Yeah. So
laziness, Wes. Laziness.
Yeah.
I know Ruben doesn't believe it, but I take photos of the art. So
I do believe it. I believe it.
I have to actually take physical photos in good light, which is usually outdoors. So it has to be a sunny day. And then, I use Photoshop to crop them out and put them up. And it takes a while.
Thanks, Jason. I appreciate you dropping in as always.
Thanks, Jason. And there's just some pieces of art that I don't want to share. There's no Jonah Hex covers on there.
Okay. Mikhail says, tell us what you need and we will find them for you. In reference to what now? That's a recent comment. That's the second to last comment. What you need and we'll find them for you. I don't know. Tell us what you were in reference to, what, Mikhail? And finding those for Nick.
I got one apparel cover.
You got what?
I got one apparel cover.
Oh, okay. Of what?
Detective cover with Green Arrow on it, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Oh, and Marcus is saying, find covers to your stories.
I gotta look up what stories they are. I don't know offhand.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always that easy either.
And other than Mikhail, that he posted one on CAF Live, I have not seen a cover in 4 years, probably show up for sale.
Yeah, and like Aranga says, anyways, knowing Mikhail, it's drugs or hookers. So
the last cover that I seen for sale was Albert Moy had it, and I took it.
Okay,
and I bought it. Yes.
Oh, and you picked that up? Okay.
Yes, I picked it up.
Okay, and would that have been the last one that you're talking about? That's
the last one I saw for sale until Mikhail posted one a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Let's see. What else should we look at? What anything in particular you want to show? I know that it's hard for me by myself. It's hard without your guidance because of how you do your galleries. You're going by covers, sketches,
splashes. Yeah.
I want to show the. Oh, you know what? Actually, I know because of the artist thing. I can just go here. I'll show you what I'm going to show. You're going to see very quickly, Caesar, why you're going to know immediately why I want to see and show this. There we go. And here. And,
my 2 Bart Sears pieces.
Oh,
classics.
Man. Oh, dude.
Classics.
I can't tell you how much I miss this stuff. There's few pieces that I wish I really wish I would have hung on to and not sold. And these are 2 of them. I've thought of them often over the years since I sold them to you. I was a big Sears fan back then. I was into Justice League, when this was coming out, of course, buying all the Justice League titles. I was like, oh yeah, it's fantastic. I just loved his style on this. I love this one because, well, I always love it when there's a famous landmark on a piece of art, so I always kind of like that. So seeing the Eiffel Tower, that's cool. Yeah, but like I said, it's primarily because I loved his art, and finding the original art to add. This might have been the first time I actually owned in-house advertising original art. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have those 2 Bart pieces from you, and I always got to remind myself because I always look when they would come up for sale. I go, oh man, I need a Bart Sears Justice League Europe cover, right? Because I don't have one.
Yeah.
And I got to constantly remind myself, I got these 2 pieces. I don't need a cover.
Yeah, exactly. You can sort of go to your grave knowing that if you never get a Sears, Justice League Europe cover, you're still covered. You know what I mean?
I got.
Yeah. This kind of makes up for it quite a bit. I mean, but then again, if you ever land the possibility of landing yourself a cover, and you don't need more than one, if you want to sort of get the cover just so you can say you have a cover, right? And then you want to sort of part with these, we can talk.
No, I'm keeping those. Those are going. I love those pieces, man. That's just perfect Bart Sears right there.
Yeah, and let me jump back into the chat, because now, just so I don't fall too far behind you guys, I want to see if anybody's making comments on these pieces. If anybody likes them the way I do, I don't know. They're making hooker comments again. 2 hookers, once shy, twice bitten. I don't know. John Lee Hooker, all kinds of weird. Okay, now he's making a joke on me. Popular in Quebec. Okay, can't be too shy with the hookers.
Oh my goodness, hooker talk.
Oh, hooker talk. Okay,
that's a different show. That's a different show.
A totally different show. Now we get one more serious comment. Mikhail, see, Caesar, I've got question 28 and 29 covers. So are those the two that you had in your gallery for sale, Mikhail? And if so, don't be shy, Caesar. Let us know why the one that you did happen to see, it wasn't of interest to you. Is it just the image wasn't your thing, kind of thing?
It was the price.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was too much. And Mikhail, you got to do better than 2% discount, bro. Come on.
He was advertising a 2% discount.
He had it priced at a certain price, and he knocked it off. He knocked off 2%.
You mean did you talk to him and then he did that?
No, or it was just an automatic discount of 2%.
He marked it as a 2%.
You got to do better than that, man. I mean, at least 10, bro. At least 10.
Duly noted. There you go. Oh, consignment item. Interesting.
Oh,
okay. That's different. That makes more sense. And yeah, Hart, women's hair is crazy. Wow, it's been what? Come on, that's not crazy. You've seen some George Perez. You've seen some really crazy dudes worse than that. It's kick-ass though. I love it. All right, some more jokes about now. Suddenly, it's all the 2% jokes. Now it's 2% hustler. Sorry. Knights of Old. Hey, Knights of Old. He's asking Turok number 1. What about it? Do you have that or something? Is that something you have, Caesar?
No, that's not. I do not have Turok.
Oh, okay. He does not have that.
I think he's just commenting on Bart Sears. Perfect Bart Sears art, probably.
Oh, okay. See, look, we got the Rickster at. Okay, West 2%. Come on, man.
You know what, Wes? That was my exact reaction. Come on, 2%.
And now Rickster says 2% is for milk. That's a good one, actually. And Mikhail was saying, I think I was thinking it more as $50. Oh, okay. Although I guess it's still not enough. And Marcus is saying that 2% off $1 million is a sizable discount. Is it though? Is it really? Is it when you're spending $1 million? I don't know that I'd get excited about that, And Knights of Old is asking, what are the top 5 Bart Sears cover ever? Well, I don't know if you're asking, Caesar what he thinks. I mean, he can tell you, I suppose, but I don't know if he's ever even given that much thought.
I haven't given it thought. No, I mean, Justice League Europe 1, obviously. Probably Turok. I don't know. I really. Probably an XO cover somewhere.
Yeah. All right. So we should show so what would be your favorite? Do you have, so you don't have Jonah Hex covers in the gallery, right?
No, I don't.
Okay. We saw a question. Okay, hold on. So what would be your favorite of your Green Arrow pieces, since it's your favorite character? So what here in your gallery would be the thing that you love the most in terms of Green Arrow?
Go to the title pages number 2.
Title pages number 2. Oh, look at that checkmate. That's cool.
So it's let me see, go up. Wrong gallery. Go back.
Okay.
Do I have
title pages 1 or?
No, let me see.
Or you're looking for Green Arrow.
Go Green Arrow gallery.
Green. Hold on. Where is that? Oh, Green Arrow gallery. Yeah. Green Arrow gallery. Oh, look at that detective.
So I like the Detective Splash by Jerome Moore.
Yeah.
I think that's one of my favorites.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Because it's got Full Figure, Black Canary, and Green Arrow.
Yeah.
And it's a title page, which I love.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And let me see, you've had this. It was this posted in 2016.
It was just posted. I probably had it for a year or two.
Oh, okay, yeah, but still not too long. Okay.
No, not too long.
Do you remember? Was this like an auction purchase or? Do you remember what
eBay from.
Oh, eBay! Wow.
Yeah, it was an eBay. Most of my purchases were from eBay.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Green Arrow Annual. That's pretty neat. I like that. Dan Jurgens with Giordano. I like that team. I liked it in the 80s. Yeah, Giordano inking Jurgens. Yeah, really
that's a nice 2-page splash, Yeah. 2-page spread.
It's double page.
It's a double page, yeah.
Double page splash. I mean, it's part of the story, or is it a pinup?
No, it's a pinup. Those annuals are doing little who's, and that's part of the who's. I think the published image is down there.
Okay.
I try to put the published images in most of my pieces.
Okay, cool. And while we're looking, let me look here. Anything? Oh, Marcus says that for Bart Sears, he loves anything that he did for Wizard. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got the Wizard Wolverine cover.
And then if you want, go back to
the Knights of Old. I don't know if you're talking about a regular series Wolverine cover or the Wizard cover, but I got a Bart Sears Wolverine Wizard cover. Sorry, hold on. Let me just check here. Hart just wants to know, you have a favorite commission?
A favorite commission? I don't really. I like them all. Well, we lost Ruben. What are we gonna do? I don't really have a favorite commission. It's Jonah Hex, Green Arrow, and The Question. Now it's only Jonah Hex and The Question. I've given up on Green Arrow commissions.
Oh, okay. How come?
Green Arrow's been around a long time.
Okay.
So if I wanted to find an example of somebody's Green Arrow, I could probably find it. He's been in his own book, Justice League, and all that. At the time when I started Jonah Hex, it was really only the 70s version, and then the Tim Truman Riders of the Worm or the Joe Lonsdale version.
Oh, okay.
Jimmy Palmiotti hadn't started his yet, so
okay,
limited to that. And The Question at the time was only Dennis Cowens and Tommy Lee Edwards when I started getting Question commissions.
Oh, I see.
I wanted to see other people's interpretation of The Question and Jonah Hex.
Right. Okay. I was going to say, this looks like earlier Trevor Von Eden and Coletta inks.
So I like the splash page with the dragon on it, the Dan Jurgens Dick Giordano one.
Oh, is that the one I just showed? This one?
There's nothing on screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry, guys. Oh, did I? Sorry. I screwed that up. Sorry, guys. Hold on a second. So that's here we go. Share screen. Yeah. So, hold on. Let me go here, and let me share this. Okay. So, would you say this one?
Oh yeah, I love that splash. That is one of my favorite splashes.
Yeah, it's a double page splash, fantastic, and it's a title splash, title and credits splash, right?
Yeah.
Title and credits DPS. So yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, really, really beautiful. Yeah, I love this period of Jurgens with Giordano inking. So
yeah, that was my favorite series reading. I mean, the Green Arrow 1988 series. I love that book. That was great.
Yeah.
And I associate Mike Grell with that book, even though he only wrote it. I think, and he did the covers too. But for me, it's like, I think of that book. It's like, that's Mike Grell's Green Arrow,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, me too. Because I just remember coming off of the Longbow Hunters, right? And that's when he was just like, okay, all these other guys were, you got your Byrne revamping Superman and Perez with Wonder Woman and all that stuff. Right. And then suddenly, this one doesn't really get much attention because I guess it's not as popular of a character or whatever. But yeah, I mean, he revamped Green Arrow with the Longbow Hunters, and right after that went right into covering and writing the other series. And it like you say, it just by writing it and covering it, it makes it really does still make it like a Grell series, So
Green Arrow, I collect Green Arrow covers from that series only. So from the 1988 series to 81, I don't go above 81.
You don't. So you mean for buying artwork?
For buying artwork. So Mike Grell stopped writing. 81 was his last issue. So I'll buy covers from 81 and down.
Oh, I see. Okay, interesting. Right. Yeah, it makes sense. Marcus wants to know, are you a fan of the CW Arrowverse?
I tried watching it, Marcus. I could not get into it.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. I mean, I quit myself, but only after a few years. I probably watched, I don't know, 4 or 5 seasons before I finally gave up on it. But I thought it was good for quite a long time, Yeah. What was it? Can you pinpoint anything that makes you feel like it just you couldn't get into it? What was it that couldn't get you into it?
I don't remember at the time. I just think it was too many changes from what I knew of Green Arrow.
Well, okay, that's what I kind of thought you were going to say.
I'm willing to accept certain changes, but it was for me it was too much.
Okay. Good evening to you, Scott M. Thank you for tuning in. And like Marcus says, he says what I said, right? It was good for a few years. Yeah, me too. That's what well, Marcus, I don't know if you agree with me, but like for me, what kind of like really bothered me and the reason I ultimately stopped is because I just got sick of the fact that every single supporting character ultimately became a superhero. Like if you took the main cast, which was, I don't know, let's say 7 characters, by like the 4th or 5th season, they were all superheroes, all of them. And it's like, okay, this is ridiculous now. Like I that's what bothered me most about it, Yeah. And Rick says the Judge Grell reference was cool. I don't know what are you referring to, Rick?
On the CW show, one of the judges was called.
Oh, was it? Oh, I don't.
His
remember.
last name was Grell. Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember those little details. Or okay. And hey, Derek, good to see you, dude. CW Arrow really has failed this city. Another hater. Wow. Okay, so for Marcus, it was the whole Ollie and Felicity together, the whole love thing. Yeah, you know what? I got to tell you, she was so cute, but something about that couple, it just didn't seem like they had chemistry to me. It just seemed forced. I just didn't feel any chemistry whatsoever, and it felt really, really forced. So. And the Lazarus Pit as well. Okay. Mike Grell, Rick says, did the art for the police sketch of Arrow too. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Hey, Knights of Old, what are you doing? Are you just going through through Caesar's gallery all on your own? I guess. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, and by the way, for anybody who wants to know, anybody who wants to get a better look, at Caesar's Gallery, the link is right below here, right in the description of this video. So you can access it immediately right there if you want to open it in like a second tab and look through it yourselves at the same time as you're listening to us here. Knights of Old also says, he's asking, is that painting behind Caesar original? It looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, it's so tiny right now. What was it? What is it a painting of?
It's of 3 maidens. I don't know. I wouldn't know.
Oh, okay. It's not comics.
It's not comic art related. No.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Okay. I got to tell you guys, I'm not Mr. Tech savvy guy, so it's hard to go back and forth between comments and sharing screen. But let me go. So I'm not the smoothest operator of this, but what else do you should we look at here? You've got so much stuff. I know what we should look at.
And Wes says I should post more. I have so much stuff there already.
I know. Just look at how much stuff there is. That's tons, man. Caesar, I know what we should look at. We should look at least one or two Tom Grummett pieces. What do you think?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, where would I find the? I don't know. Think of ones that you'd like to show and tell me where we should see them. Obviously, probably in the cover.
You can do the specialty one, the piece
Oh,
I
the
like.
specialty piece, yeah, the one that we used for that I used for the thumbnail of this video.
No, that would be under commission.
Oh, okay.
The Superboy specialty piece that I have, the style guide.
Oh, okay, hold on. So where do I find that? Oh, let me just look at
number 2, or just hit Grummett.
Yeah, hit Grummett. Grummett. Okay. Oh yeah,
those are my commissions, obviously. Down more.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Superboy right there in the middle.
Oh yeah. There we go. Look at this. And yeah, and this is a classic image. I think they use it for like in one of the card sets as well.
Well, if you scroll down, you see everything that they used it for.
Oh yeah, right. I checked that out. Yeah. You did a great job with that.
And there's more. I'm only limited to 6 images.
Yeah. It's so cool that you even got the solicitation.
Solicited as the cover to Superboy 1, yeah.
Yeah. Previews and okay.
A card.
Here we go. We could just run through them this way. Oh yeah, for the card back of the watch. That's wild, man. But yeah, it's fun, right? It's because it's so esoteric, you know?
Yeah.
That's what makes it fun. I mean, to me, it's like, yeah, and then he's 1/4 of this poster, of course. Yeah, the reign of the Superman. Yeah, that's really, really cool. Yeah. And let me see when you post this. 2016. Did you also have this for long before posting it?
At least 1 year.
Oh, okay.
That was an eBay buy.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So by rule of thumb, I don't post eBay buys for a year after I buy them.
Oh, okay.
Just because, no specific reason.
Interesting.
I wait a year to post them.
Interesting, because that's kind of what I do. I don't have a date per se, like a year, whatever. It just so happens though that it usually does end up being at least that long, anyways. You know?
Yeah. So, like I said, I think I say in the description, it was a 3-piece lot. So it was this piece.
Oh yeah.
The cover to number 3, I believe, and the final splash page of issue 79. Those all 3 came together in one lot.
Wait a second. Are you talking about the one? Oh, my God, is it the one where it was a 3-page? It was a 3-page lot. One of them was the one of Superboy punching Superboy.
No, not that one.
Okay.
A splash page of 79. The last where.
Okay, hold on. Let me go back there, and this way I can see it.
I don't have it on the. I don't have.
Oh, you don't have it up here. Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
But I do have that Superboy issue of. I have half the issue.
Which one?
Superboy versus Superboy, the 0 hour crossover.
Oh, really?
I have half the issue. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wait, did you get that from Alve or something, or no, from Carl Kiesel?
No, I bought it off of eBay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
It was just some random dude who happened to have half of it?
It was, some dude who had half of the book. And he actually sold a lot of the Superboy art on eBay.
Really?
It was all the same seller.
Okay. And but he wasn't like one of the inkers or anything like that?
I didn't recognize his name.
Yeah.
He never responded to like private emails. You know.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So this is a commission I got from Tom. The Teen Titans, obviously.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. Let me see. Oh, sorry. I just want to see if I can. I was hoping I could see if I could make it a little larger, but when you share a screen, there's all these limitations or whatever. Hold on. Okay, so sorry. Let me stop sharing here for a moment. Come back to here because I did notice Dino. Hey, Dino. So Dino, because I also, this is also one of the things I wanted to ask you too. And he's asking, hey Caesar, curious why your calf gallery is called Shemp. Are you a Three Stooges fan? We all need to know this whole thing. Shemp's place, the whole thing, you know?
I am a Three Stooges fan.
Okay. I mean, you kind of got to be to name yourself that.
Right. Why Shemp? It was so, I don't know, for you guys who are older, back in the day, they used to have bar games where you would sign up on the computer screen, right? And you would enter your name. Well, Ceasar would never fit, you know. It was like a 5-letter word limit, 5-letter limit.
5-character limit.
5-character limit. So it was like I could spell my name wrong and put Ceasar. And then one day I just used Shemp and it just stuck with me the whole time.
Okay.
That was it. And I know Rubén doesn't have it linked in the below, but I do have a gallery under Ceasar Alvarez.
Okay. I knew about it. I remembered it. It's just that for so long now, I've been used to you filling up, the Shemp one.
I use Shemp. The gallery under my name is most of my Mike Grill art.
Okay. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, but that's right.
It's most of my Mike Grill art.
That's right. When I was putting the link in there in the bottom, at that time I just wasn't thinking of it because I was so used to thinking for the last several years you're just focused on
focus on one gallery.
Yeah, but the other one, the Grell gallery, that one is simply under Alvarez, Ceasar, whatever. Okay.
Yes.
So so you guys can find that under letter A and find it that way easily enough, There you go. Okay, and West is asking, is Neal Adams Green Arrow on your list of haves or wants?
I mean, yeah, I would like a Green Arrow from Neal Adams. It's not a priority. I mean, I'm not dying for one. If I find the right one, it's the right price. Yeah, I'll buy it. Okay. I don't have a list of things that I want, that I'm looking for, searching for. If something comes along and I like it and it's the right price, then I'll buy it.
Right.
But I'm not saying, I need to check this off. I don't have that.
Right.
I mean, I have a short list. I have a short list of pieces that I want. I have to have that I would buy.
Oh, specific pieces, you mean?
Yeah, specific pieces, but
okay,
it's a short list.
Okay, like short list, as in you can count them on a hand or two.
Yeah, there's 6 pieces.
Wow, you know exactly that there's 6 pieces. Wow, and it's do they involve those characters that your favorite characters?
Yeah. So when I first started collecting, I was very focused. I said I was only interested in Mike Grill art, right? So I made a list of 6 pieces that I wanted, and I wrote them down. And I'm like, those are the 6 I want. I'll stop collecting if I get all 6, right? And
interesting. But you did that back in the day.
Like I did when I first started collecting. I was really focused.
Wow.
And it's so focused that it's only 2 characters and 2 artists.
Wow.
That's how focused it is.
Okay. And obviously, because you're still looking, you're keeping that mum's the word on that.
I'm keeping the mum. I have 3 of the pieces, 3 of the 6.
Oh, okay. So you did. Okay. So you've already had 50% success rate.
I have 50% of it, yes.
Hey, fantastic, man. Awesome. Good. Congratulations. That's awesome. That's really fantastic. And can I ask, how long did it take for you to acquire that 3rd one? In other words, the first 3 took in total how long? It's got to be over a decade.
Like 10 years, maybe.
Okay, so it's about a decade. All right.
So the last one was, I posted it up on my calf. It's a Green Arrow piece, the Dennis Cowan's one.
Which one?
Where he's standing in the snow.
Oh, hold on. Let's go check it out. Cowan. Hold on here. Let me now go back to sharing the screen. And here we go. Okay. Oh, this one?
That one. That was one of the 6.
Okay. Yeah, that's a beauty, man. That's so fantastic.
That splash hit me hard when I first saw it in the comic book.
Yeah. Me too. I remember.
Book, yeah, that splash hit me hard, and it's like that stayed with me for the longest time. Like, I know that splash, and he just came on the last page of that issue. I can't remember what the title page of the next issue was. I mean, it's that issue it's that image that's burned in my brain.
It's burned. Yeah. That's it. Forever seared into your synapses or whatever. Yeah. No, I get it. No, I love it. And is that all Zipatone?
No, it's not Zipatone at all.
Well,
it's shaded.
But that has to be no. Those dots are not shading.
It's not Zipatone. I know what Zipatone is. It's not Zipatone.
Well, it has to be some kind of thing that's not done by hand.
It's.
You're gonna have to pull it out, dude. Pull out the original. Is it near you?
No.
Oh, come on. I think everybody. What do you say, guys? Everybody in the audience.
I know what Zipatone is. It's not Zipatone.
Maybe it's not Zipatone, but that cannot be. Look, it's mechanically done.
It might be duo shade board. I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, right. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe something like that. Yeah.
But it's not. There's nothing applied to the page.
Okay, nothing applied to it. Yeah, so maybe duo shade type stuff. Yeah, because that's definitely not done by hand. That those dots, you can see this clearly. Those dots are
right.
Let me jump back in here and see what the. Okay, nobody's saying anything other than congrats and superb, which it definitely is. It definitely is. Okay, cool. No, that's an awesome one. All right,
that was the last one. That was the last piece I found of the 6. So that was.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. And when was that?
At least 7-8 years ago, probably.
Oh, okay.
It was on eBay. Obviously, I buy everything off of eBay.
Damn.
It was posted the week of San Diego on eBay.
Wow.
And so I waited patiently till it ended. I was the only bidder on the page, and I won it. And I was super excited about getting it.
Okay, that's very cool. And yeah, Rick. Yeah, it looks like duo shade. Yeah, it's definitely something mechanical for sure. There was CJ says there was a rub product back in the day. And like I said, it's got to be probably the laying on the chemicals there on like duo shade. Yeah. Okay, so do you want to show us the first 2 pieces that you really wanted and acquired?
I don't have them on my gallery.
Oh, those are not posted. Okay,
I can tell you what they are.
Yeah, what are they?
It's the Cover to Longbow Hunters #1. I do have that one.
Oh, you did get that one.
I traded Rick for that. That was the Warlord cover I gave up.
The Rickster.
Rick got me that one.
Wow, good going, Rick.
So I have that. And then, so the second piece was
screen tone. Yes, screen tone.
Oh, maybe there you go. The second piece was
colors. Yeah, sorry.
The second piece was the poster art to the Green Arrow Batman Question Fables story.
Oh yeah, but I've seen that before. Did you at any point have it up, or maybe
no,
I saw it when it was off when you bought it or something? Maybe it was. It
was on Heritage. It was on Heritage.
Oh, Heritage. That's it. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, it's Dennis Cowan's Bill Sienkiewicz painting.
Okay.
Batman, Green Arrow, and the Question.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Before anybody else asks, can I ask you why on those 2 pieces? Why do you not want to post those particular ones?
I don't know. I just don't. Because they're for me. They're for me. I mean, I know.
I know what you mean. I get what you're saying. Yeah. There's pieces that I have, whatever, and then I'm like, oh, what should I post next, whatever, and then I'm like, maybe I'll post this one, but then I'm like, I don't know. I've had it for years already. I'll just keep holding it for years because this one is just for me. Right. I know it's weird. I know it sounds weird to a lot of people probably, but I get you. I get you because I've done it. So yeah, right. It's weird, I don't know what this means, but it just came through, and so I'm going to post it. Horcrux.
I don't know what that means either.
Okay. Sorry, Mikhail. Maybe you can fill us in, though. I was hassled all the time to sell it. Okay. You mean by Caesar?
I did not hassle you at all, Rick. Maybe you were hassled by other people, but it wasn't me.
I can imagine he probably would have been, for something like that, I would imagine he would have been hassled by a lot of people, Yeah.
And you were the one that convinced me to go after that cover.
The longbow
the
one?
longbow hunters. The one time we were in San Diego, I met you twice.
Yeah.
Both times in San Diego, 2 separate years. But the last time, you knew I was a Mike Grell fan. And you said, "Why don't you buy the cover from Jim Warden?
Right.
He has it on his site." You know,
I remember that. Yeah, yeah.
his DOA site. It was on there. So I was like, afterwards, I was like, you know what? Why don't I buy it? I mean, why not? But he had already sold it to Rick. I didn't know that, but he had sold it. He responded to me, "Oh, it's already been sold."
Oh, okay.
And I was like, "Oh, okay, no problem."
Okay.
And then Rick was the one that offered me the trade. He
okay.
He offered to trade me the Longbow Hunters cover.
Oh, he reached out. That's cool.
Yeah, he reached out to me.
Okay. Can I? Would you be willing to reveal what you gave up for it?
The Warlord cover, I think
Okay.
it's 27.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And then on top of that, I threw a really sweet Bernie Wrightson Batman piece.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So I had just bought it like a month before, so I had no attachment to it.
Right.
And he wanted it, so I was like,
Yeah.
no problem. So I was like, okay.
Yeah,
and it was a fairly big piece. He did ask me if it was a small piece of art or a big piece of art.
Right.
And I said it was a big piece of art signed, so we traded that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And I appreciate Rick for offering it to me.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, man, that's why I always say this. You know, that's for me. I mean, it's always been for me about this, but especially as I've gotten older, it's about the people, the relationships, right? And helping other people get stuff, right? And you hope that eventually somehow it comes back to you. And you know, I don't mean like necessarily by that same person, but who knows? Karma, right? Some other person reaches out and, hey, do you want this? You know, I know you like this or whatever, you know. And that's what it's all about, man. It's about the people. It's about the art, sure, but it's about the people too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always said, like, it's hard. You can collect. Anybody can collect on their own. You know, anybody can collect without having friends and being sort of introverted or whatever. You can collect, of course you can. I just feel it's so much more enjoyable when you kind of meet people and you have sort of friends who, you know, you can help each other here and there. And I don't know, it just makes the being in the hobby a lot more fun and enjoyable, you know?
Yeah.
I've always felt that, you know? Okay, cool. Okay, so let me go back to here. Did everybody see the latest piece that Caesar put up? Because
I try to post some doozies to get some traffic going to this channel, you know.
Yeah. Let me
kind of brought out some of the heavy hitters. Well, non-published heavy hitters at least.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. That's not good if I do that. Okay.
And it's not showing on screen again, huh?
No, not yet. Right now it should. Is it showing?
It's gonna. So what you click on? The Brayfogle?
Okay, yeah. Check out this 1983 pure Brayfogle. Yeah, man. I mean,
so
it's pre-pro.
It's pre-pro, yes, but it's still just an awesome image of Batman and Robin.
Oh yeah, no, and it's great pre-pro. I mean, a lot of these guys, you know, I've seen a lot of the pre-pro stuff that, you know, guys who I love, like Butch Geis and, you know, some others. And like, you know, it's fun to look at just because, you know, it's just cool to see what level they were at before they went pro. Yeah. But at the same time, you know, you can see the deficiencies and the things that they still needed to work on. And so it's good for comparative basis. And when I look at those and I look at this, I'm like, oh, he was further along than some.
I think guys. He was there at 83, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, wow. Yeah. So this is this is quite beautiful.
That first showed up when in the early days of the internet for me. Right? It showed up in someone's picture of a con on a wall somewhere, right? And I just saw it and I was like, oh my God, that is probably the best Batman and Robin piece I've seen. And I
wonder if that was a Marcus picture. Marcus, how long do you go back and posting con pictures? I know I used to remember seeing you put con pictures like years back. I just don't remember how far back it goes. But yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, so that was it. And
but you hold on. But you saw. So this goes way that far back. Where would you have seen that con picture?
I don't know. I saw it somewhere, either on somebody's website or something. But I saw it. It was in the background. It was up on a wall of art, and I saw that image, and I was like, "Oh, that's the one. I want that one."
Okay.
So
good night, honey. Good night. Thank you. Sorry, gonna say good night to the wife. All
right. So I searched high and low because it was a small picture and you couldn't read the artist's name. So like I said in the description, I typed in, Batman and Robin, black and white, original art.
Yeah.
And I would just search through the images constantly to see if it showed up. And one day it showed up, and it was Norm Brayfogle. I was like, oh, okay. So now I know who I'm looking for. So now I got to find it. And I could not find it for the life of me.
Oh.
And Marcus is right, because it was an Albert Moy booth. It was the Albert Moy booth.
Okay. But Marcus, do you remember how early you first started posting pictures from the booth? Like what year would you have first started doing that? Let us know. But that's cool. Okay. But then it disappeared. And what so it disappeared for how many years, Ceasar?
Well, I don't know if it disappeared, but I never saw it,
Well, that's what I mean. But you know what I mean.
Nobody had it for sale. How's that?
Yeah,
it wasn't for sale.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Listed on anybody's site for sale.
Right. It was no longer available to you.
I'm assuming Albert had it the whole time, because when I found it years later, it was with Albert.
Okay. It
might have been Lance Suarez pictures. I'm not sure.
It's true. I remember Lance. Yes, I remember Lance used to also post pictures back in the day too. Okay, so maybe that's what it was.
Yeah. So I found it, San Diego. It was there. I fell in love with it. It's huge. It's 21 by 15.
This one?
Yes, it's 21 by 15. It's huge.
Oh, did you mention? Oh, you did mention it here.
Yeah, I mentioned that to you.
Oh, yeah, nice.
It is big.
Oh, that's awesome. That makes it even more awesome.
So Albert had it for sale, but it was priced a little bit above a cover.
Okay.
Right? That was too much for me because it wasn't published. It's not a published piece. I passed on it.
Wow.
And then I bought it about 3 years later.
Nice. Oh, 3 years ago or later?
3 years ago. 4 years ago, 3 years later, after I found it at Albert's.
Oh, okay.
I made him an offer. I thought he was going to refuse it because it was way too low, but he took it.
Oh, nice.
So
nice.
Worked out for me.
Yeah, you never know. Was this an auction buy also?
That was an eBay buy.
eBay, yeah. You and your eBay, even like
within the last year too.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't bother with eBay anymore. It's just too much. It's just I hate it. It's too much trouble for me.
Yeah.
No, I'd rather take the chance that I'm going to miss stuff,
Right.
But yeah, it's a cool one, and that's probably, I don't know, man, early mid 80s. I would say 83 to
83, 84.
Yeah. That's
83, 84.
That's what it looks like. Yeah. Very cool. And of course, here's your Beset Swamp Thing ElfQuest piece. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What a team up. That's crazy, dude. I mean, what the hell? It's fun, Again, it's another one.
It was totally fun. Yeah. I saw it. I said, wow, that makes sense to me. It was cheap. I bought it. Another eBay buy.
Yeah.
So I liked it.
Yeah, that's what I look. I look for a lot of that kind of stuff nowadays. I look for the fun in art. The fun stuff.
That's a fun piece to me. It's Beset, the Swamp Thing, and it has ElfQuest. I'm like, I never read ElfQuest, but
yeah. I only read the first, I don't know, probably 3 issues of when the Marvel Epics line had it.
Right.
And I don't remember why I didn't continue, but probably because I just wanted to keep that money to buy more superhero stuff. But I do remember liking it though. So I always enjoyed it. And I always actually remember thinking, if they had like the Marvel Epic run, collected, I would be willing to take a devote the time. Yeah, devote the time and money. I would, yeah. I at least, I wouldn't buy it all in one shot, but
Right.
You buy one, and if you liked it, yeah, okay, I'll buy the next one or two, or that kind of thing. Yeah, I wouldn't mind reading the Elf Quest. Yeah, so that's cool. Okay. All right. What else should we see? Oh, I guess this piece never appeared. Somebody ripped you off.
So I've had 2 pieces go missing that I've never received, right?
Oh, 2 pieces.
Now it's only 1, but so both of them were international. The first one that I never got was a Tom Grummett piece, the Robin poster from Robin 3. I bought it from some Canadian lady.
Okay.
And
sorry, did you say Robin 3?
Yeah, the poster to Robin 3.
Oh, the poster.
The poster that was inserted in Robin 1,
yeah,
number 3.
The poster art.
Third series.
Yeah.
So I bought that off of eBay. I got it from some lady in Canada, and she
flaked.
Right. I got the whole, I'll send it next week. I'm sick. I'll send it next week. Never came. Never got it.
Okay.
And then that appeared on Gaff Gallery like years later.
Okay.
And I asked the guy where he got it from. He said he got it from some shop in Canada.
Oh.
And I was like, oh man. He said, but it's been in LA because it was framed in LA, but it was in Canada. So I asked him if he ever decided to sell it, give me a shot. I'd like to buy it again because I told him it went missing.
Yeah.
So he put it up for sale. He offered it to me. It was a fair price. I paid for it twice, but I finally got it.
Wow.
So
paid for it twice. Wow.
I swear the following week I buy this piece from Australia and it never shows up. So it's 2 international pieces that's gone missing for me.
Wow. The following week too.
Yeah.
That is
I was like, I go, no more international purchases because that was it.
Yeah, and what burns me is that when people do that, of course, that's why you get so many people, so many Americans, I don't deal with anybody outside the US, and it's like, it's frustrating for me and for everybody outside the United States. Sure, build that wall. But yeah, it gives everybody else, like, it gives us all a bad name. It just because somebody outside of your country kind of screwed you. Obviously, it doesn't mean that everybody in that country is going to screw you, but you get gun shy afterwards.
Right. I was only joking. I mean, I've bought international before. It's not.
No, I know, but you know what I'm saying. I'm saying it because the truth is, we all know that's kind of, it does happen. There's a lot of people that, they're just like that. They get gun shy because they had one bad experience or 2 or whatever. And then, no, nothing, only inside my own country, whatever. So it's too bad, people give other people, you get
so
painted with the broad brush.
That's the only piece that I've never gotten.
Okay.
Just never showed up.
It's a shame. Here, let me just come back, guys. Okay, here. I did want to mention, Ceasar, for you primarily, because you are the guest. We've hit I've always said, I guess I'm going to try to aim for like a 2 hours per show type thing.
Right.
Realistically, you've been here before. Most of them end up going a little longer. So I just wanted to ask, first of all, are you still good to go, or do you need to leave? Or
no, I'm still good to go.
Okay, because I just wanted to mention, up until a couple of seconds ago, there was more people watching a couple of moments ago than there were like in the first 2 hours. So like, I don't understand. Like usually people are dropping off by this point, right? Because they gotta, they want to go to bed, whatever, or get ready for work tomorrow, then all that. I don't know. It just seems like there's as almost as much as there was at the peak. I don't know, whatever. But okay. But so I'm curious, man. When you use, because you say you use eBay, are you still like? So you sound like you're hardcore eBay. Like do you have all the saved searches and all that stuff going? Is that how you use it?
I do. I do still use eBay. Yeah, I have saved searches. I'll look
Okay.
at them,
Okay.
but it's very. I don't buy as much as I used to, obviously.
Okay.
So I mean, unless it's a special piece like I like, or something that's unique and unusual, like the ElfQuest piece,
Yeah.
I'll buy it. But I try to stay focused, especially now, on
Right.
my main wants and my main wants. So artist wise and title wise, I try to stick to it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Wes, the internet's on fire. I've been waiting for Caesar for a long
Oh
time,
my
man.
gosh, I don't think so. Must be glitch somewhere.
Daryl, what's up, Daryl? Hey, Daryl. You know what show? I'm assuming you know what show is next Sunday. And let me just might as well give me a second, Caesar. Let me give me a second to. I just want to. Might as well put this up for anybody who's not aware. Next week's show is Comic Art Roundtable number 5. What happens in Vegas? Hopefully, it continues to grow. And I will have these 3 lovely guys here who will be on. And Daryl, I was hoping Daryl you would be able to make it, but I was told by Jeff that Daryl, your work schedule changed and Sundays are tough for you. But if by some crazy chance you're still able to somehow make it next Sunday, you should email me and let me know. And it'd be great to have the 4 of you on instead of just the 3. But yeah, let me know. Okay, let me go and.
You know what? I bought a great Batman piece from Daryl about 2 years ago.
Oh, look, that's why you can't make it. He's tuning in from work. There you go. Okay. All right. I guess you're not going to be here next week. You can't tune in next week, Daryl. I appreciate you slacking off at work though for our benefit. And so you're saying you bought a piece from him a while back?
Yeah, a while back. So
Okay.
it's a superb Batman piece. Just
Oh, like a commission type piece?
No, it was It was the John Beatty Batman pinup from Detective 600, maybe. It's not in my gallery, but it's one of those pieces where you got to see it in person to see how great it looks. I mean, I like buying off the internet, and it's great, it's convenient, but sometimes you just got to see the art in person.
Oh no, that's
and
true.
It makes a huge difference,
Yeah, we all know. I mean, I think everybody knows that even when it's a great looking scan, there's still nothing quite like when you finally receive it. Oh shit, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's still even better than the scan. Yeah. So so just so everybody knows what you're talking about, let me go and share it.
No, it's not in my gallery. Sorry.
Oh, why you little ayata?
I've been meaning to post it. I just haven't gotten around to
it. No worries. But cool. So that's the. I gotta say, man, wow. Because out of the guys who were around like back in the day, and of course, I always mean, late 90s, mid to late 90s, or and onward. I think like most of us, unlike you, all either completely or almost completely gave up on eBay. Like I will say that for me, I'm only there when, like, if I happen to be on Comic Art Fans looking at art, and something at the top, one of the advertisements for eBay ad, right? It catches my eye, right? So, okay, let me just see that, and I click it. But if it's not that, I to willingly go to the eBay original art section to look at art, I haven't done that probably in, I would say, at least 15 years.
Oof.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still willing to dig,
Yeah.
I'm still willing to dig.
No, that's cool. I mean, that's it seems to pay off for you, So if you're willing to put the time in, and I always say, if you're willing to put the time, but it goes for anything and not just art searching, right? Anything in life that you're willing to put the time and effort in, you get what you get out whatever you what you put into something, right? So so I've always said, if anybody who's still willing to put the time and effort into eBay, and if they come up roses, oh yeah, I found this and that and the other, more power to you, man. That's what I say, and you deserve it. You really do.
Yeah.
Oh, and I guess I should say, just so nobody ever calls me a liar, I should say that also there's another way I sometimes will get on eBay. And that's only because on eBay for I don't know how many years, I do have that one saved search term of Tom Grummett. Yeah. So for that, I'll go, because I'll get notified and okay, let me see what it is, Yeah. So for anything Grummett, yeah, I'll be there, And oh my gosh,
eBay for life. There you go.
eBay for life, baby. Wow. Oh my gosh. I mean, like, I kind of hate it. Like I have like a hatred of it. Like, I don't know, but that's wow. That to love it that much after all these years. Wow. And Daryl just wants to let you know that you're a man after his own heart. The Question, Batman, impeccable taste. He does, though. I really enjoy that stuff too, Daryl, and it's part of the reason why I wanted him on. And hey, West, by the way, not only do I thank you for coming in for only the second time, but also I appreciate you making the effort to throw out questions throughout the show, the entire show. That's it helps and makes it more fun and more interesting. So I appreciate that. So yeah, how many pieces have you bought this year, would you say? I'm sure it's not something you keep track of on the.
I don't keep track. Let me see.
Yeah.
Maybe 10. It's the end of the year, probably 10.
Okay.
For the first 3 months, I probably didn't buy anything, so I didn't buy my first piece till March, and then it kind of just,
Yeah.
There's just certain times where pieces pop up and they pop up in a row, and you got to buy them.
Yeah. That's how I found, honestly, like the hobby to me, going back to the early days. I always feel that it sort of works in these waves where, like, it's like a retail. I liken it to like a retail business. If you've ever worked in a retail business, on any given day, you can, or even as a customer, you just walk in and, hey, this store is dead, right?
Right.
You walk in on another day and, oh shit, this thing is bouncing, like it's like jam packed. Like, what's going on here, And then on a different type of set of hours, it's like quiet again, So it goes in waves, and I think the whole art thing is very similar too. And I don't mean just for eBay. I mean just in general. Yeah. I find it really does work that way. Where, like,
it does. It really does.
You go a few months without buying.
Yeah, you go without a few months, and you got to resist the urge just to buy something.
Yeah.
There's too much money, and you're like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, suddenly, don't you hate that when it's like it's dead for months, and then it's like the floodgates open, and you're like, what the? First, you're happy because finally a piece for the first time in months. I got one, and then you're like, oh, another one. Oh, excellent, you get that one, but then another one and another one, and you're like, oh, wait a second, this is getting a bit much now. All at the same time, you say, whoa, it's like, holy shit, it's a little too much, But that's how it works. That's just generally how it's always been, kind of thing, And Marcus. Some artists only use eBay. I'm aware. I'm at the point where I'm just like, whatever, And has quit. It's not like I quit eBay, Marcus. It's not like I quit, but yeah, I guess you can say, like, I certainly quit ages ago, searching and seeking out by, like, scrolling down the page of the original art page. Right. I quit that, like, at least 15 years ago. Like, I can't. I used to be one of those nutcases who would do it multiple times every day. Like, I would refresh that section of eBay every hour.
No, too much.
I was a nut job. So those days, I just finally got, like, it just got to the point where I just wasn't finding anything. I spent so much time and effort that, for me, when I occasionally would find something, it was fine and it was fun, but it still, I felt it wasn't worth all the time and effort that I still had to put in to get that piece. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I get it. I understand.
Yeah. But I mean, if it works for you and you're happy with the results, and it seems like you are, I would.
I still find pieces I like. On eBay. You get lucky once in a while. Pieces will show up
for sure. Who is that? Is that a dollar sign or something, like a dollar bill? Maybe. Who needs money?
It's
art we want. I guess.
We want. Oh, okay.
Well, sure, but we need to get the money in order to get the art we want. That's the thing that doesn't grow on trees, Tell me, Ceasar, in all the years that you've been in the hobby, and I'm interested because you mentioned that San Diego is the only show I think you said you've ever gone to.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Well, so, I went once to the San Jose Con.
Oh, okay. Just
that was it. Yeah, one time.
That was it. Wow. Okay. I just want to ask, have you made any friends to where you feel like, yeah, we're like, even though maybe it's long distance because you met through online or at a con or whatever, do you have one or two friends in the hobby that are sort of that you're closer to than anybody else, or have you always been more of a lone wolf type?
I've always been the lone wolf type. I mean, the only guy I know that collects art other than West is Mark Haspel, and that's because we have a shared interest in Jonah Hex.
Right.
So, I mean, other than those two guys, I don't think there's really anybody else. I mean, I know Rick Welch. I know Joe Murray because we all three of us collect Mike Grell.
Oh, Joe Murray as well. Okay.
Yeah, so I know them too. But it's pretty much just been the lone wolf.
Okay.
I guess if you want to say that.
Well, you know what I mean. Yeah. That's a pretty good way to put it, I guess. I don't know. So Hart wants to know, do you prefer cash buys or trades?
I prefer cash buys.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
I've only traded a couple of pieces away because I wanted the other piece more. So, I mean, I'm sadly I'm attached to some of my art, so it's a little harder to give up.
Yeah, well,
but for the right piece, I mean, I'll trade it like in a heartbeat.
I wouldn't say you're attached to some of your art. I think you're attached to most of your art, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a more of a fair enough sort of way to put it,
I mean,
let me ask you this. I've never asked anybody this, because I don't know if anybody would kind of want to answer it or not, and you can or don't have to, whatever. That would be cool. But I'm just curious. For you, do you have or have you had somebody in the hobby, like a dealer, who you always kind of knew right away on top of your head, oh, that person's my favorite to deal with above all else?
No, I have no favorite dealers.
Okay.
I've used them all. I've bought from them all. Some of them, don't respond. It's all right,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's been,
the communication thing has been one of the biggest issues.
I've bought from everybody. I bought from you.
Yeah.
I could go down the list, Ramita Man.
Yeah.
Albert Moy, Conrad. He's not around no more, but
yeah.
Tom Fleming, Philip, Jim Warden,
right.
Hugo Brock,
Yeah, bro. Oh, yeah, Hugo.
Yeah. Spencer. Yeah. Your other namesake, Ruben Martinez. Espinoza. I bought from him.
Yeah.
I think Ken Daniker.
Ken Danker, yeah.
Ken Danker, I bought from him. So there's no favorites. I mean, I would guess if I had to pick one, it would be only because he did me a solid was Spencer Beck.
Oh, okay.
So what happened was he still reps Dan Jurgens, right?
Yeah.
So there was an update one day where he posted about 5 different Green Arrow covers, right? That between Dan and Dick Giordano did. Right. And I couldn't get that email out fast enough, whereas it was like, I'll take all 5. There was no price listing on them, but I take all 5 anyway, right? Because it was an Inquirer piece. It was Inquirer.
Nice.
So he goes, in his reply back was, 2 of them already sold, but you can have the other 3. Okay. Or I think it was 6. He posted 6. 2 of them sold, and I could have the other 4. And they were like, he said $250 each because I was going to buy all 4.
Oh, right? This is really back in the day.
This is really back in the day.
Okay.
So I go, okay, I'll take them all. It didn't matter to me. So about 3 weeks later, I get the art. About a month later, he emails me back and says, hey, the other buyer backed out. Do you want the 5th cover? I said, of course, I'll take it. And he goes, oh, I'll give it to you for $252 because you bought the other ones. And I was like, hey, that's great, So, for that, Spencer Beck probably has maybe a special place. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was customer service. I know he has quirks on how to order and all that, but that's customer service to me.
Yeah, for sure. No, I believe me, I get it. Hey, look, I've said a year ago, was it about a year and a half ago, when I finally posted my Holy Grail in my gallery, I mentioned I got it from Spencer. It was, I had to go through him. So, he certainly, he's like you said, he's got his quirks and whatever, that whole thing. But for that alone, yeah, he's okay in my book as a person for sure, So, but I do feel the need to say, after I asked you the question, I need to say that somebody here, where is it?
What was the question?
Marcus wanted to let you know that you said, because you said you don't really have a favorite, but look, he says that's the wrong answer. The best. Thank you.
There you go, Ruben.
Thanks, Marcus.
You did my best pieces, so it's okay.
Hey, listen, all I ever wanted to do is do something for a living when I was doing it full time, doing something that I had a passion for, that was fun to do. That's why I did it, Right. And for me, I ever since I was a kid, I was very, because of this one incident that happened when I was like 10. I always swore that, if I was ever in a position, when I grew up, that I have to give people service, I was going to do my best to give them the best service possible. And ultimately, it's not really difficult. It just comes down to be polite, be nice, respond, respond, like quickly enough, you know what I mean? Like don't just blow messages off or whatever, and that's pretty much it. You do that, and everybody's gonna love you, or they should, it's amazing how many people people would be shocked that new people in this hobby, but they find out quickly. They find out quickly though, right? Like once they start dealing with different dealers, and they're like, holy shit, man. I'm like, oh my God. I still get every year, I still get emails all the time, and like, by younger guys, newer guys in the hobby, and they're like, yeah, holy shit. Like, did you ever deal with this guy, that guy, or that guy? Oh, yeah, trust me, I've dealt with them all. But you don't understand. I did this, I said that, I'm still waiting. I'm like, trust me, I understand. You know what I mean? Like, believe me. And it's like, but you answer me. I'm like, okay, but I'm not them. I can't tell them what to do. Like, whatever. Like, what can I say? You want the art, you just have to deal with some of the shit you got to deal with, unfortunately, sometime, So, and now he's changing his mind. He changed his mind. Marcus says, it's not me. It's Val and Steves.
Oh my God! No.
You forgot the Z at the end. Val and Steves.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I have bought 2 pieces from him though.
Yeah, I will admit, back in the day, I did not buy from them, but back in the day, I did do about, I want to say, 4 trades with them through online, not even in person, which is scarier. All within like a span of like a year or 2. It went well. The only thing I will say is that even though we had agreed, the only thing that they kind of, did incorrectly is we had agreed, okay, so this is the trade. All right, sounds good. When do you think you can when do you think you can get it in the mail? And they'll say it, and I'm like, okay, perfect, because I knew that I could get it. Like, I'm very flexible with my time, you know. So I knew that whatever they say, I'll do the same thing. Okay, that day is when I'll ship it too. Okay, excellent. Let's both agree to do it on the same day. Okay, excellent. And of course, on all 4 of those trades, I went out, I shipped my stuff, came back, waited all day. They didn't have an email, right? With here's your tracking number for my package. No, I had to chase them. Yeah, you said you were going to ship it. Did you ship it? Whatever, you know. And then I don't hear from them for like 3-4 days, and then finally I hear from them. Oh, here you go. And then I check the number, and of course, it was only on that day that they actually shipped it. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. They're the ones who want to be last to you know. They want to hear that you've fulfilled your half of the deal, you know. Then they'll I'll fulfill my half or whatever, you know. Cool. What's that heart? They're what's
questionable?
Questionable? Oh, well, heart puts
the Donnellys, you know, he's talking about the Donnellys.
No, everybody knows who's being talked about. I'm just trying to think. They're what? They're smiley face. I don't get that. But this
a little iffy. A little iffy.
The poo emoji comes through. Okay, I understand that. Knights of Old is asking, what personal collection piece do you feel should be worth more, and which piece does he think is valued too high? Oh, so do you think you have one that is really, you feel like, wow, this is only worth this much, and one of them is, wow, I can't believe this is worth this much, right?
Honestly, I don't think like that. I don't put prices on my art. Like, I don't look at it and go, oh, this is 5,000, this is 10,000. It's just like, that's the cover I want. That's my art. There's not a value on it that I put when I look at it. So that's why I don't do trades that much, because like what I think is the value is not going to equal what somebody else thinks is a value, you know. We're not agreeing, you know. His is probably market value and mine might be market value, but you know, might be a little bit more. Whereas like I've been offered Frank Miller art for trade on certain stuff, and it's like, well, I don't really like Frank Miller, you know. Yeah. So it's the value you're putting the Frank Miller, I don't put that on it because I'm not really a fan. You know, I like it, and I'll take a Dark Knight Returns piece, you know. But if it's anything other than that, it's like I don't really value it that high, and I'm not going to trade something that I do.
Yeah. So I think everybody would kind of agree with that, right? It's like when the item that's being offered to you, it's not really something of an artist that you personally like, even though it may be a big name.
Right.
You understand the other person's valuation, but you just in your heart, you're like, but it's not worth that to me because I don't care about it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So I don't go around putting valuations on my art. I just, you know, I mean, I remember how much I paid for it, but I don't remember. I'm not like thinking, oh, that's a $10,000 piece now, you know. No.
Yeah. No, Knights of Old, you know, Caesar's always been very much of a long time sort of just, you know, hardcore collector kind of guy, loves his stuff, buys it and keeps it. And like he mentioned earlier, has only ever really sold a handful of things or whatever in trades or whatever. And so it's not, you know, people like that, typically you won't find them thinking or relating values, whether current or not, to their artwork, except for what he said, which is kind of like me. I always remember what I most of the time remember what I paid. Yeah. Somehow that number always stays, you know. So that's it. Hart wants to know, how far have you driven to a location to pick up a piece? Like when you've already done a deal.
You know, I've only volunteered, asked to driven locally. So LA probably. I mean Hollywood from me twice. Okay. I've only picked up a piece twice in person, and both of them were in Hollywood. So that would be it. So one time somebody hand delivered a piece to me They were from San Diego, and they drove up to drop it off for me, which I wasn't expecting. They should have told me, but I wasn't expecting it. But yeah, they drove from San Diego to pick it up, to drop it off. Yeah.
Okay.
But I've never. I mean, I think I've offered, within an hour or two of where I've been, but usually they just mail it. I mean, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, the two I picked up were cash, so I paid cash and just.
Is it because they insisted on cash though?
Well, I offered them a price and I said I'll pay cash.
Oh, I'll pay you cash. Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Cash is still king. You still get a better price if you pay cash.
Typically, which is why when I don't really travel much to cons anymore. But when I used to have folded up rolls of like 10,000 in this pocket, 10,000 in that pocket. It's just like, and I've got a long way. That's when I would go to like San Diego, because it was the biggest one. So I'm just like, it doesn't feel comfortable like to be walking around with that kind of money, like know. And holy shit, it's kind of scary, whatever. It's a bit nerve wracking or whatever. But at the same time, people would tell me, yeah, but you're crazy. It's too much risk. Why don't you just carry what do they call them again? Nobody uses them. That's why I never carried them.
What traveler's checks?
Yes. Why don't you carry traveler's checks? I'm like, first of all, I've never used one. Second of all, I assume that traveler's checks, like there's different types depending on what bank you buy them from or whatever, right? So I'm like, and it's not a common form of payment. So so I always felt at least that if I were to show up in San Diego, I make all my way there, I have no cash on me, and I'm just loaded up with traveler's checks. I always felt like that would be a wasted trip where I'd come back with nothing, because when I would try to buy something, if I said, hey, yeah, you take traveler's checks, I always just assumed, like, no, they're not going to take traveler's checks, right? Like, why would you, right? How could you know that this traveler's check is even like, it's not something that I printed up myself, like, and the dealer, they have no reason to know that it's legit or not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's it. So I was like, no, that's just not an option. Never. As dangerous as it is to walk around with a lot of cash, that was just never an option for me, and I've had a lot of people tell me, yeah, I used to like, you should have taken traveler's checks. In the early 90s, I used to go to San Diego and I would take traveler's checks and people took them from me. Like, I don't know who these people are. Maybe it was a different time back then. It was traveler's check. Maybe it was a little more common, perhaps. I don't know, but yeah. Look, West has it, man. If I went to San Diego with traveler's checks and no cash, I'd be coming back with nothing but traveler's checks. Yeah, man. That's the thing. The dollar smuggler. I would never smuggle it. You have to declare if you've got over 10,000, because if they check you out at customs and you haven't declared it and you've got over 10,000, they have the right to confiscate it from you. Yeah. So I was never going to do that. But I will say that's another part of the problem, was that it was a pain in the ass, because I would get to the airport, got to go through customs. I'd tell them, okay, yeah, I'm carrying a lot of cash on me, and I'd whisper to the guy, he's like, oh, how much? And I'd tell them, and then, oh, what are you doing carrying that much cash? I'm like, I'm a collector. I'm just going whatever. I'm just going to maybe buy some collection stuff for my collection. Okay, come over here. And they pull me aside. Okay, give me the money. I'd have to whip out from all the pockets, right? And it's like, okay, they counted. They sit down, they counted. No counting machine. They do count it one by one, manually. And they would take their sweet time. And in the meantime, my plane is like scheduled to leave in like 30 minutes, and it's like, I got to get to the gate. The gate's still kind of far. Yeah, they almost made me miss my plane once. I never did, but almost, like, come on, man, So that's pros and cons about, doing deals, whether it's with cash or not. But like you say, I did it because it's true. It's cash is king,
Yeah,
now if back in the day when I was traveling regularly, like to San Diego, if back in those days, if dealers would have been equipped basically none of the dealers were full-time dealers. So, but if they would have been equipped with credit card processing back then, and back then they weren't, like in the first half of
nobody was.
Right. The first half of the 2000s and earlier, nobody was taking any credit payments. If they had been, I would love that. I've got a good limit on my US dollar credit card, you know? And I'm like, fuck, I would love to be able to just take my credit card in my wallet, because it's always in my wallet anyways, right? And have empty pockets for cash, just only bring enough cash to eat or whatever, you know, for things like that. Oh, I would love to have done that, but no, you got to bring cash. You know, bring cash. Wheel and deal. You know, like yeah. Money orders. Nah, money orders. It's the same thing. It's the same problem with money orders. I get money order from my bank. It has the logo of my bank. What dealer in San Diego is going to know that this is a legit money order from the Bank of Montreal? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it you know, why it wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked, you know. So that's that. But I don't have to worry about it really anymore. It's like I said, since I don't really travel much or whatever. But Ceasar, let me quickly ask you: is there a specific reason why, other than that San Jose show one-time thing, why you never really got the gist to want to travel to any other cons other than San Diego?
Work. I couldn't do it for work mostly, but
okay.
There's shows I want to go to. I just, you know.
Oh yeah, really?
I mean, I'd like to go to
like what?
The Charlotte Heroes.
Oh yeah, the Heroes. Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah. Okay. But you'd like to go to, okay, but you really, there's no way to get around get it out of work for a weekend kind of thing?
I mean, there is now, but before, when I was, you know,
back in the day, yeah, when
I was really into art and wanted to buy something, you know, now it's just, I could sit back and, you know, it'd be nice to go for a day or two and, you know, check it out.
Right. But you're not actively making plans to do it anyway.
Right. I'm not. I mean, I asked my friends if they were going to Charlotte, the ones I go to San Diego with, and she said, well, not this year, next year. And I said, oh, maybe I'll go with you guys just to hang out, you know.
Yeah.
Because I only get to see them in San Diego. That's the only one time a year, so I figure, you know.
Oh, you're not talking about the people that you get from the old store that you get
that's the people I'm talking about. I only see them once a year now.
Oh, I see, because they don't have a store anymore. You don't even see them anymore, other than
well, because they're in Texas now. They're in Texas, so
they've even moved to Texas.
They moved to Texas, so I don't see them.
Okay, wow. Oh, that's sad, but no, I get that. Then that's the only time you get to see them. Yeah. No, but I get it also, like you mentioned earlier, you're not as sort of hardcore seeking stuff out like, you know, you were when you were younger.
Yeah, I'm not as actively buying as I used to.
Right. And when you hit, like me too, right? And so when you're in that, you hit that stage of your collecting career, if you will, it's harder to get motivated with the idea of, oh, let me plan out this whole, let me get work, right? Let me try to get off work to get this weekend so I can travel and get on a plane and spend all this money to and truthfully, it's part of the reason. Like when I stopped regularly traveling in 2007. And since 2007, I only went back once to Chicago in 2012 and then once to Terrificon in Connecticut in 2019. And that's it. And if you don't count the local Comic Con, obviously,
right.
You know. And sorry, Toronto, but that's because I visit family and friends in Toronto. That's like a 5-hour drive away, whatever, you know. I've been there maybe once or twice in the last 15 years or whatever. But that's part of the reason, because I just got tired of the whole traveling. I've never liked traveling. Like I've never liked the whole airport flying experience.
Right.
You know, I feel it's exhausting. Yeah, you got to leave your house 3 hours before the flight time. You know, it's just so long, and especially if it's like San Diego. And by the time I've traveled for like 12 hours, by the time I finally land in San Diego,
right.
It's a lot. And truthfully, even for like short haul flights, like I don't know, Chicago, let's say it's maybe 2.5 hour flight, but I still have to kind of leave the house 3 hours before the flight time. So it just doubles the time, you know, the whole, it's just too many hassles. And like you said, I'm not as hardcore as I used to be. I'm happy whatever I find. If I can find something online, excellent. And there's usually, you know, I still find in any given calendar year.
Yeah.
I find enough pieces to satisfy me. You know what I mean?
There's always something you can buy. I mean, it's just,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's, you know, exactly. It's online. You're connected essentially to the entire hobby, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. And so, yeah, there's always something to buy, even though online, yeah, you go through those lulls where shit, wow, I haven't picked up anything in 3 months, right? But then the floodgates open or whatever for a little while, you know. And that's right, Marcus, Fan Expo Canada. And I don't think Marcus, no, he's never been there. Just been to the SF one. They're the guys who run the SF show that you went to. Okay, I didn't even know that. Okay, and it's an arts and crafts kind of show. Are you being serious? Okay, that's weird. Yeah, but I had a feeling it was not really a true comic show, just because it was like I was wondering about like why do they call it the San Francisco Expo rather than like the word comic is not in it or whatever, you know. So maybe that kind of explains it. But with okay, so he's being serious. So it's an arts and crafts kind of show, but with current comic artists. Okay, no real vintage art and few comic dealers, but mainly cosplay accessories. Okay, cool. And Carl says, thanks, Ruben and Caesar. Great show. Got to run. Got to finish packing for my girlfriend's move. Have a safe trip back to Hawaii. Carl, I appreciate you, buddy. Thanks so much. Yeah, and I guess that you know it is a good segue to probably put an end to the show here. I mean, I could talk for hours. I say this all the time on this show. I can keep going and going and going, but obviously, you know, everybody who wants to watch on Rewind, this is going to be a low viewed episode probably because they're going to see, oh shit, he went almost 3 hours. Fuck that. I'm watching that one.
They don't say the opposite. Oh my God, he went 3 hours. It must have been a good show. They don't say that.
I always thought I would hope so. I always thought like I would hope so, but you know how it is. People are so busy with their jobs, you know, their families, right? Everything else they got going on. So it's kind of like when they get, it's overwhelming to see that.
Yeah.
Like, 3 hours. Oh, okay, forget it. You know, whatever.
Listen, people, just play it in the background. It's good.
Yeah, I tell because some of my close friends actually, they're never here live, right. But they will watch it. Like you said, they'll like when they're doing things, they're working in the office, let's say, and they'll put it on. So they don't really watch, but they listen.
Yeah, they listen. Yeah.
You know, and they listen while they're doing their stuff or whatever. Oh yeah, and they always email me and yeah, just let you know I just saw this episode or whatever. Yeah, it was good. It was nice. It was fun. Whatever, you know. Oh, okay. So I didn't even know they were still, you know, paying any attention to it or whatever, you know. So yeah, so that's it. But yeah, no, it sadly it's just a fact of life that even YouTube will give you statistics telling you that, you know, the longer it goes, the fewer people are going to bother watching it. You know, it's sad, but you know, I really do this, and let me preface by saying, I've always said this. I really appreciate all of those of you who are watching on Rewind. Really appreciate you all because you do make up the majority of the views. But for my own enjoyment, I really do. I do this. First of all, because it's for my own enjoyment, first and foremost, you know, and because I just love talking to people that are involved in the hobby. And so my favorite part of doing this is the live portion, because we get to talk to the guys. To me, it feels like it's a bunch of friends. We all have the same hobby in common, and we get to shoot the shit at the same time, you know?
Right.
And you know, these guys in the hobby are cool. It's always the same guys. They're always joking and fucking around and stuff. And it just makes it fun, you know? And so that's why I'm like, I don't force myself to stop at like, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours. But I'm just like, you know what? As long as the guest is cool and they're still into it, and as long as the viewers are kind of sticking around, I've always just kind of gone, you know, and that's it. But ultimately, once it starts approaching 3 hours.
3 hours.
I feel like, okay, I still don't want to turn away every rewind watcher. You know? Yeah. So that's the thing. But hey, man, I really appreciate it.
No, it's great. Great.
Yeah, I'm glad that you not only said yes to coming on. I'm glad that it wasn't too nerve wracking or whatever, and hopefully, at least it didn't look like you were.
No, it was fine. It was fine.
You know?
No problem.
Okay, cool. Do me a favor. I'm going to put you in the green room for a couple of minutes. Just hang back for a second. I just want to talk to you for a couple of minutes,
Right.
and while I say my goodbyes to everybody. And
All right, thanks for everybody for showing up. Rick, Marcus. I've never met you, but you know, you comment on everything, bro. You comment on everything.
Let me put up. Oh, and hold
West.
on. Tariq says, I enjoyed the show. 3 hours went by fast. I feel that the time always goes by fast. I don't know about you guys, but for me, it always feels fast. Multitasking and listening at the same time. Exactly. That's you know, no problem. Do it that way. Exactly. I bumble Opie and Anthony episodes and Bill Burr on producing 3-hour episodes at a time. Okay. And Rick says, great interview, Caesar. David, wow, David, you stuck around. I just realized, David, you usually have to leave before I finish oftentimes, right? But thank you, sir. I appreciate it. All the way in Australia. Appreciate you, man. Thank you as usual. Hey, we're up and staying raccoon. I think that means raccoon. I don't know. Raccoon. Okay. Raccoons for everybody. Thanks for showing up. We're up and staying. Appreciate it. Hart, thank you as always. I appreciate you, brother. And CJ, you as well. Always appreciate it. And Knights of Old, thanks for being hey, you're welcome. And not only thank you for being here, but thank you for being very active and making a lot of comments and asking questions. I appreciate that. Stevie B, bro, what's up? You guys were great background conversation for the past 3 hours. Stay well and keep collecting. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. And there you go. Thank you so much, Jeff. All right, let me put you in the room, and I will be right with you in a minute or so, okay?
All right, no problem.
Thanks, bro. All right, so thank you again, everybody. I appreciate you all for not only tuning in as usual, as always, but also for most of you tuning in for the whole duration. Really appreciate that. And Mickey, what is up, Mickey? You came in late but enjoyed it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, sir. If you have time, put it in the background while you're doing something else and rewind it and watch it. But I appreciate you, man. Thank you. I appreciate all of you as always. And again, all of you on Rewind, thank you so much for tuning in whenever you can for as long as you do. I really appreciate that. I can't thank you enough. Just really quickly to remind you all, for anybody who didn't notice earlier, please tune in next week. Where we will have Comic Art Roundtable number 5. And these lovely, well, 2 out of the lovely 3 guests have been on the show before, and the third one hasn't, Matt. But that should be fun. And that is at the usual time, of course, of 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. And let me just get this off there you go. So you can see that, everybody. And yeah, that's it. So that's what we'll do next week. So tune in for that. Should be fun. And other than that, again, please remember to, on Friday, 5 days from now, check out Nick's show, The Original Art Experience, youtube.com/theexp. And that's at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific. All right, and that's it. We will see you guys on the flip side. Thanks, guys. Peace.